be able to get those flanks on.
It just seemed like everything was going OpTic's way. I know earlier we talked about with Rise Nation and FaZe Clan fluidity. I mean, when things are going well, it just continues to go well, it seems, for every team that we've watched so far up on this main stage. And we have a very decisive CTF coming up next. And if Rise Nation can't get it together very, very soon, OpTic might win this 4-0, and my map prediction will be wrong.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Matt here, where this uplink that we're about. It's fine, peace, man. But no, for real though, these are the two best uplink teams we have in the COD World League, right? And now they're going into this one. Rise, this has been their game mode, that if they're even in a series or down, they use this to swing the momentum back in their favor. But now they're going up against OpTic, and the real worry for them is, I think OpTic lost uplink twice in the entire stage 1. You've got to know that's in their minds that this will not be the normal cakewalk that it is. We've seen Rise beat teams 30-1, 20-10. I don't think that'll be the case here versus OpTic Gaming.
Will, what are you thinking over there?
I thought you had something to say.
I see you deep in thought. I want to know.
Well, I have some questions, right? Because we were talking about the map rotation earlier. This time it's going to be on Fringe. It's not like, for instance, we've seen the uplinks on evac, for instance. You have all these different wall runs. You can kind of juke people, below the map, so to speak, on the outside walls, and you can get those lower wall runs. But on Fringe, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, yeah, sure, you can do a little bit of neat tricks here and there on tracks, but you're going to be seen if you're running and someone's there. You're not going to be able to hide and juke them around corners. Does that play into favor of OpTic here when we know that Rise has had those neat ideas when it comes to playing up?
For me, when we're talking about this map that's coming up, it's going to come down to Octane and Formal, that one-on-one battle, because this AR presence is going to be so crucial for both these teams to really hold the momentum and have map control. Formal and Octane, in my opinion, out of both their teams probably have the best map awareness, and they have to because of the roles that they play for their team. So let's really focus on those one-on-one battles, and I think that whoever has the most kills between Octane and Formal, that will really tell the tale of who's winning this match.
You said the map is Fringe, right? For uplink. Yeah. This map, for me, reminds me of how dominant Rise is on this map. Reminds me of like OpTic in like Retreat on Advanced Warfare, on Hardpoint there, because I can't remember if I've ever seen Rise lose this map. It's just the one game mode and map where they always dominate. I don't think they could have asked for a better map draw here. This team, more than anyone, knows exactly how to position themselves. You'll see, even when they push up into OpTic space, they'll always have one playing the middle white truck, and that's because they're so confident they're going to score that they're already looking forward to the next rally to get it in. That's why in the 3 times I've casted them on this map, they've scored 70 points. 70, averaging over 23 points a game for their team.
That is insane.
That's a cool little stat you just pulled out there for us, Jack.
That's a huge
Some would
number.
call me a professional.
Oh, man. No.
Few, but some.
I'm very
but that is a massive number. I mean, that's not something you joke about. So the confidence should be there for Rise. We talked about it before the match started, too, that the maps seem to favor Rise a bit, but so far the score tells a different story.
We've got Afterburner being protected by Classics there,
okay.
which is going to be very big for uplink, especially because of the movement that is needed for this game type. Then you have the RC going away, or the HC XD, the high caliber being banned, the flashbang. I'm sure we're going to see a stun come in, and that'll be all she wrote for protecting bans.
It makes complete sense for me to see the Afterburner protect. Afterburner lets you go for that top over barn throw twice as often because of how quick your burners are up. Also, any throw really over barn, even from that back small fence area. Also, Rise, the best team in the game, in my opinion, in tossing the drone from L-wall over top grannies. Another example of where Afterburner is needed to get that full thrust to make that possible.
Now, so the concussion goes out, but there's still a couple contenders, including Overdrive, still in the game. There we go. That's the one that's going to get banned out. I was waiting for it.
I was hoping to see Overdrive. We don't get to see it as much. I don't think the pros like that specialist just because of how much it actually changes timings.
I mean, yeah.
And that's really what Pro Call of Duty is timing and self-awareness on the map. And if that is messed with at any time, I don't think they like that. So it's always a very popular ban.
All right, well, the camo comes in. Of course, we've seen some good plays with that throughout the weekend. Aside from that, again, all the common picks, the scythe coming out on both sides. So choosing to go with something that's much more pure slaying focused rather than maybe being able to zone with the Tempest or an ability like that.
I get so disappointed when I find out that nobody can use rejack. It kills me.
They just don't wind up picking it. And it's something that we haven't seen too often in Stage 1, but Will, I brought up Fringe Uplink here to talk about a few quick lanes that we'll typically see used on this map, mainly trying to score on this barn side. Now, if you're new to competitive Call of Duty, this is your first time watching Uplink, a game mode where you have a drone, you have basically a ball type of thing in your hands that you throw into the portal for 1 or dunk it in for 2 if you move it in yourself. Now, scoring on this area, there's a few different lanes you'll see players move with the objective. 1, you push down this turbine area through rails. You take the drone, you use your afterburner to get right up into barn, jump out the back window, and go to score on the portal. But also, sometimes we'll see the drone picked up, move through bricks into this back alley area, and the player will hit this high wall run with afterburner, go soaring through the air, and toss it in for the 1 onto this portal. What will be very key on this map, especially when scoring on this side, if you've never played it before, it's all about getting your opponents spawn trapped in this back alley. If you get your opponent spawning here, they only have a couple choices. 1, try to push their way out to challenge the different opponents that are in this backside of the map. Or 2, overextend all the way around the back of the map, give up their base in its entirety, give up multiple scores in a row just to find some map positioning. The team that wins the slaying power on this map normally winds up winning the game.
All right, well, speaking of, I mean, that scares me a little bit if you're a fan of Rise, because when you talk about slaying power, sure, Rise is a good team, but that's kind of OpTic's calling card. I mean, it's all about slaying power over there.
Yeah, they've been on fire today. They really, by statistics, they haven't lost a map yet. Yep. So they're hot on this Sunday afternoon, and I'm sure that they are going to be bringing even more heat when it comes to this Fringe uplink.
Yep, 6-map win streak so far today. Like you said, Nate, for OpTic Gaming, Rise, they got slowed down a bit right now in the grand finals, but it is a best of 7, a long way to go for either team to secure that title, to be able to lift up that trophy and be called the champions for the Call of Duty World League presented by PS4. Well, it's time to jump into Fringe for this uplink for game number 3. Maven and Mr. X, take it away.
Thank you, Chobra. It is time for Uplink, arguably Rise's best mode. CTF, they're very strong at as well. Can they bring this back and tie it up 2-2?
Well, you have to think, if Rise takes this one, I would agree with that. Uplink and CTF are Rise's 2 best game modes.
Well, that's where they have the advantage, I think, over...
Yeah.
Over,
they win
OpTic.
This one. Well, OpTic's a very good uplink team as well.
Yeah,
they win this one, though. OpTic's not that strong on CTF. You could see this series tied up with a quickness. This map, obviously huge for Rise Nation. Don't think really need to kind of tell you why. Obviously, going down 3-0 to OpTic Gaming be a difficult task to overcome, but see how these teams are going to start off the break. The Shiva makes it into this one, so I think we'll see a lot of Shiva action as you see flipping through some of the players. Octane and Classic both running Shivas. And you have Crim running a Shiva for the side of OpTic Gaming.
All right, well, shots getting laid down. That's Formal winning one at long distance, taking control of that player at top barn. Crim going to be inching his way forward towards drone, and it looks like he's going to opt to wrap this one back. Just play the control game for the time being and toss it right back to spawn.
Well, he's just going to bait some players out. You pick up the drone, you force players to come towards the middle of the map. Rise playing a little slower, and it's 3 down.
And now they should be able to get forward. He wants to go high over the top, the 1-pointer over the rooster. Can they get it? And there's one in. OpTic Gaming with the long ball. Crim coming up clutch.
And it's going to be Rise Nation spawning back alley. They need to get control of their barn yet again. Karma in the back of the base. We saw the good things he did against Elevate in uplink, getting behind enemy lines. He picks up 2 in the back. Slide has to rotate all the way to take him out. You see OpTic Gaming control the middle of the map. Who is coming through bricks for OpTic? That's going to be Scump. He has potential to make a big play here.
Yeah, Scump's got one. There's another player at Wood across. He gets around the corner, checking spawn. Unfortunately, spawning by bridge to his left. But you've seen Crim bury some shots here. What does he opt to go with now? His teammates pushing forward. Formal got in the back. The distraction's there. One more up and away. No. Chopped down before he could get off the release.
If Formal picks up that kill in the back of barn, he wraps that one all the way across, and they try and force that one in for a 2. He's just not able to win the gunfight, and then Crim going for that 1-point throw yet again gets taken out. You see Formal here in the middle of the map. It's going to be Looney actually taking the drone over towards bricks, and it's actually going to be a 3 dead, and they get cut off with the drone. It's going to be Crim dunking it in for 2. Now with the Shiva set up back there, that could be dangerous for Rise Nation.
Well, they're spawning back alley like you mentioned. They were talking about it early. That's what you want. You see the toss going over the top. Let's look from Crim's point of view. He sees it get buried. He picks up the kill. OpTic Gaming is rolling. It's the train that won't stop, but it's a 4-0 advantage 2 minutes in.
Rise Nation really needs to get control of their base. They just let players funnel into barn, into the back of barn. They're spawning back alley. They're not winning the gunfights in the middle of the map. It's a tough situation they're in.
I don't know whose base is whose at this point. They've spent so much time on their side. Let's listen to OpTic Gaming a little bit. Let's hear the communication. How are they getting so much control of the Rise Nation base? Let's throw it over to an OpTic Gaming listen in.
Back train
hiding yard.
Back train, dead.
Nice,
One
nice.
back train,
One hit from barn, top barn.
Okay, top barn.
Hey, Dub, do it. Dub weak, Lenny.
Ball wrap.
One shot dub, one shot dub.
One in dub and one going middle. Two middle.
Dub.
Ball's far left.
Dub's here. One's from barn.
Nice from barn, nice
One shot
shot.
from barn.
Two middle,
Two guys middle. Three middle look like. That guy was hurt. Octane was hurt. Ball Z. Someone play intercept.
They're close,
It's all good.
they're all close. They're all fucking
Top
close.
famous.
Got him.
Watch that.
Front
Octane.
up, salute. Front, grab
Where'd he go?
all.
Find our truck.
One Z. One at her. One's too close.
Oh, you got me, front grandmas?
Nice. Do that.
Nice,
That was last two.
I'm mid.
You can play that if you want to.
Guy mid, front yard.
Bring it.
Yard dead.
Nice.
Let's
Do
go.
that.
Pushing.
Last
Yeah.
guy. Last
Could
guy.
be
One
top
more
barn.
train.
Could be top barn.
Yeah. Watch
Probably
top
top
barn.
barn.
I'm pretty much top barn now, Ian.
Oh, yard.
He's
He's
straight,
in
he's straight,
Smolder.
straight.
Smolder ran out.
Got him.
I got one top barn.
Two.
Looking from
Octane and
I
Slack.
need help.
I'm looking at
There's
the alley.
Plastic and
They're gonna be
Slack.
on point.
They're probably in the back. They gotta be in the back.
I'm pushing point
Wait
right
for
now.
I'm getting ball
Coming,
barn.
Seth,
I'm getting
I'm
ball
coming.
barn.
Yeah, one's in the back.
Yeah, he's in the back.
Watch
Below
out,
the
watch
window.
out.
I need in the
I got
back.
one.
One's below the window for sure.
One shot right here.
I'm pushing the back. One second. Give me a
I
second.
got two. One more there. I got two. Let's go.
Nice. Three. Let's go. Looney. He's
One
yard.
just wanted to weed. One just wanted to weed.
Yard dead.
One just wanted to
Yeah,
weed.
Phenomenal stuff there. You hear the motivation, the passion, the control. They're rolling right now. It's 6-1. Krim trying to rotate back to drone spawn here and keep the pressure. But for the time being, we may... Okay, I was about to say control for Rise Nation as those two players get cut down.
Formal was actually just walking them back alley when Scump was coming through, and that's why you saw Scump move to his right, waited for Formal, pick up another kill, then dunk that one in for two.
All right, well, Formal on a 5 streak, getting very close to these streaks. If he could pick up a few more. I know we've spent a lot of time on the OpTic gaming side, but there's not been much to talk about for Rise. They've been getting pummeled. OpTic has made their base their own. They're in control. They're spawning them back alley, and I don't even know what advice to give to Rise Nation right now. You can't clear out your base. You can't take 10 steps without fire raining down on you from the green wall.
At that point, you got to think about overextending and trying to play for a counter tap of your own. Maybe getting the top grandma with one of your AR players, win a gunfight or two, and then try and make a play for the drone mid-map. Right now, you keep rotating back to your base, but you're always fighting at a disadvantage.
That's what it seems like, right? You're spawning and you're in a 1v2 early. The kinetic armor's popped. It does nothing for Slack. His players are lying in wait here from OpTic. Classic trying to push tracks, trying to open something up. Can he stay alive to at least keep some pressure off a drone spawn for his teammates to get something going?
Well, I mean, if his teammates drop, he's going to be out of position over there by track. So he needs to stay alive as long as possible. Just let his teammates come off the spawn and get some good position. You see Octane here moves up right by drone spawn. Going to put some shots down on Z. Potentially a 1-point opportunity here for Rise so they can get some kills.
2-1.
That does not look like it.
Time is gone. Not enough to get it done. Your first half, 8-1. OpTic Gaming just looks to be the superior team right now. They have a 2-0 advantage in the series. They've got a big lead going into the second half. Matt, you were once a relatively legitimate coach. If you were coaching Rise Nation right now...
Relatively legitimate coach.
Yeah,
I guess
cheerleader, coach,
really good.
male nurse.
Nate's shaking his head over here. No, I'm kidding.
But what advice would you give them if you were there behind these players, hyping them up, giving them instruction? What would you tell the boys of Rise Nation right now?
You got to make them realize the moment that they're in. Like, this is do or die. Like, you're going to obviously get another map, but this is the one you need to give yourself the best chance to extend this series. You got to get everybody buckled down. You got to get off to a good break. And as I say that, you have two people
Yeah, a good break of half our players dead.
Yeah.
Not anything they can do right now. Formal picks up one more. Octane's decided that he wants to hide. He's terrified of the push that's coming, but it works out. The sneaky play comes up big. Can he pick up a second? Nice win there from Octane. Is for the time being, he's held it off, but you heard the scythe come out. It's Formal trying to pick up kills. If he gets this kill, the drone carrier, he doesn't get it off. It's still in a dangerous position. Can he get a couple more? They're pushing for 10. They're pushing for top grandmas, but Formal will get stopped. So for the time being, you've held off the pressure from OpTic, but things not looking good early.
And it's actually, it should be Scump with a chance to get the drone. And it's actually Octane. He's going to be able to pick up a big kill there.
That's what they need.
Now,
OpTic, or Octane has to go off. He has to have a big game on a map like this.
I mean, even if he does, you need somebody else to step up. I mean, Looney right now has not had his best series. I mean, 6 and 16 at this moment in time. You need him to show up in the hard point. Didn't play that well. You know, Looney just having a rough go here in the finals.
You know, he had that incredible performance earlier. The first series, he was the player we highlighted the most. He was going huge, but the struggles coming on versus OpTic Gaming right now, he cannot find a foothold in this one. But now you got the two-pronged attack, one going mid-map, several pushing down tracks. Can they get some points on the board? Nice movement from Slack. The one-pointer is off. It looked to be to the right. No, he will bury it. They've got one on the board in the second half.
And if OpTic can, I mean, if Rise Nation can get them trapped in back alley. This is a team that can make a comeback in a hurry. With the AR shot that Octane has, you expect him to be able to lock it down. But Krim with the Shiva, it's going to give him an opportunity to win these long-range engagements against a guy like Octane. He's going to put down some nice shots there, and you see he's actually going to take out Octane up in top Grandma. The drone going to get passed up the map 4 yards. OpTic Gaming in a perfect position to answer back that 1-point play with a 2-point play.
And look at this. Whose base is it?
Yeah, Rise just cannot get anything going right now.
Look at the map. There's 3 players just surrounding it. They've had such good control, but there may be an opportunity for a counter here. They toss it forward. Looney gets picked off. 4
They have
down.
everything covered. I mean, that's a fantastic play by Rise. I said, you know, if you can't rotate back, maybe go on the overextension, try and just answer back with some points. They do. Gets cut down right before they can put it in.
Well, I want to hear what Rise Nation sounds like right now. They are getting pummeled, but they have the motivation, the determination to come back in this one. Let's toss it over to a listen in.
That's going to be wood wall. On new ball. One's back, water shot, new ball. New ball dead, one's on outside dub window, 1 shot. He's in dub absolute. He kinetic. Another one from barn. From barn and he's in dub. That's a dub, kinetic. Yeah, kinetic came out white truck. Nice. I'm going to dub, I'm going to juke it out, One's front barn. Front barn and top barn. I'm one train. Top barn's not peeking. One's gonna be in dub. Top barn weak, top barn weak. Yeah. I'm trying to get the train, Front barn. I'm at train. I don't see anything here. Lightning. There's a lightning. Nothing in the middle room, I'm in dub. They pinged it. Catch camo, get the ball in there. Yeah, give me the ball. Alright. Spawn 10. Middle room, 1 shot. One shot. He went him, dude. Yeah, fucking A.
Are just not going in their favor.
It's not big on hype. You want at least some energy, right? Some passion. It just seems like they're, I don't want to say disinterested, but they sounded defeated to me. You didn't hear the energy that you want to hear in a grand final.
Yeah, you need somebody who's just kind of, I don't want to say the word hype again, but we kind of keep bringing it up. But, you know, throw some energy into the squad. I mean, right now, it's everyone just kind of really quiet, really silent. You know, obviously, nothing's working in your favor. You got to find some positives, some respect from this game and move forward. I know it's hard to say that
when hell's raining from the sky,
but you got to find some kind of positive to kind of latch yourself onto moving forward.
I mean, there was I think a couple hellstorms and lightning strikes called in over the past 30 seconds. Formal 31-17, Scump 29-17. Karma's doing the waltz on bridge here, just playing around with the drone. Okay, I'm getting dizzy. I got to get off of that.
Nah, he's gonna play the drone mid-map. Yeah, Krim there. Set up, but this is an OpTic Gaming domination right now. An uplink fringe. It's going to be a 14-2 victory, and they are going to be up 3-0 in the series.
My God.
Not look good for Rise Nation.
And is this not what we saw at times in Advanced Warfare, where now it is unreal to see this performance from OpTic. They just cannot be stopped right now. The question for me, you know, the somber demeanor we heard, and you know, there's the owners of Rise Nation. Nation right now. Will, courage, Nade, any advice for these guys?
Well, they've been playing, and to only get.
The big story here for me is Scump and Formal together. I think that combined like 66 kills, T2P in full effect right now. They are just playing so well. It's incredible. And then you even have Karma and Crimsix on the back end picking up some major kills. I saw Karma get some really big kills behind spawns, and so did Crimsix as well. So everybody, like we said the last match, just firing from all cylinders.
It rises in the toughest of spots you could ever imagine yourself in. We looked at the scores before Game 3. We kind of looked at each other and went, this really hasn't even been that close. Now you add in a 14-2 in uplink. I went backstage, looked at some of the stats for the next few maps as well. If worst comes to worst, right, for OpTic Gaming, they go all the way to Game 7.
What's up, you guys? It's Slick Chaos here, bringing you guys
S&D.
a new live stream, but today we are watching the World Cup League. We are watching OpTic Gaming versus
We have had 3 matches today, including this one, and no opposing team has won a map yet.
Sorry,
It's
but
been
Rise
4-0-4-0.
Nation.
Yep.
Sorry
and
if I
again,
have
we
technical
kind of talked about it earlier, but maybe
difficulties.
this is the difference between, first we saw
my
the
internet
difference
is
of the
kind of
top 4
laggy right
versus
now,
top
so
8, and then
you
now
guys
we
could
saw the difference
enjoy
between
it.
top 2 and top 4.
I know Call of Duty is
this
doing
is
the
where
live
you draw
stream
the
about
line
it,
of, hey, if
but
you're
also,
number
why not?
1, you're
Why
number 1
shouldn't
by a
your boy
mile, and we
do
were
it?
looking
So
at these replays. It's
this
going to
is
be the
part
OpTic
2.
show. One thing I want to point
Hopefully
out,
you
though,
guys
is
enjoy it.
we talk
Peace.
about Scump, and we talk about how he's good at everything while also leading the team. You could witness that when we were looking at their listens, and or rather hearing their listens, because you see him just darting his eyes all over the minimap while he's playing, while putting up a 32-18 kill score. Like, that is crazy for him to have that type of multitasking in the action.
Yeah, that's one of his strong suits. He just really knows how to coordinate. I mean, you don't get that many kills by not knowing what you're doing. He just knows how to navigate the map so well, and it's just so smooth. And it's at a point where OpTic is playing so well, I just don't know if any team that exists would be able to stop them right now.
Yeah, I think right now what we're witnessing, you're dead on, Nate, is not that Rise is faltering, but it's that OpTic came here in full form. They came with the idea that they were just going to snatch that trophy off the stage and run with it because they're up 3-0 in this best of 7. It is the grand finals, but we're already at match point for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, I saw JCap tweeting that he thinks that, yes, they lose the uplink. He thought that would have been one Rise that they could have taken, but he says uplink and CTF are Rise's best game modes. There's still an opportunity here for Rise to at least extend this to a Game 5, but with how OpTic are playing right now, they're going to need a hell of a lot with them. You can't have Looney go near triple negative as one of your main submachine gun players.
I'm not trying to throw shade at all towards Rise by any means by what I'm about to say. It just, no, it's like OpTic, I've never seen them be up 3-0 in a series. I mean, we don't really play best of 7s too often, but when they're in the championship finals on Sunday and they have a map advantage, I don't think they've ever really lost, ever.
Yeah.
Anytime they go up in a series, whether it's 2-0, whether it's 3-0, there's just not a chance that I see them throwing this away and losing 4 maps in a row. I mean, it's bold to say. It's not bold to say.
No, it's not. I agree. You don't get to stand under that name of OpTic Gaming and then let games slip out of your hands on a championship title when you get to maybe have that chance of lifting up that trophy. Rise, by all means. We talked about it before the match started. On paper, they should have all the right to expect everyone around the world looking at them as a potential champion. But we all said, I mean, something's looming over. It's just something about this squad on OpTic is making us think that OpTic's going to take it, and we're witnessing that come into play once we get into these maps.
They're just making all the right decisions. That's what it comes down to. It's just the fluidity that I see when these teams that are winning are playing. I mean, Rise Nation had it earlier versus FaZe, and it's just right now it's not in the cards for them. And hopefully, I would love to see this go to a Game 7. I would want nothing more for the grand final, Championship Sunday, to have a very competitive match. And as a matter of fact, every single match that we've had today, I thought could have gone to like a Game 7. I was expecting to have some incredible bouts, some incredible matches, and we just haven't had that.
I want to see Rise protect Afterburner. And wait, is that actually what they just did? Yes, it is.
Yeah, right away,
okay,
once again. Now, they tried that on the uplink. It didn't pay off, but again, that's their strength, and they're at least trying to play a little bit more to their strengths and not have to worry about what OpTic's doing. We saw that on uplink, and once again, that protect on the Afterburner comes through for CTF on evac.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the right call. You gotta bring up the speed. You gotta just try to go crazy on this map. Do whatever you can to stay in OpTic's face. Don't let them dictate the pace. Rise, bring it to them here. Never let OG get comfortable on a map like evac.
I think we need to keep a big eye on all the wall runs this map. I mean, this is one of those games where you can get pretty sneaky. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Slacked and Looney hitting those wall runs, getting into the other opponent's base, and then maybe even Scump and Crimsix doing the same for his team. I've said it a few times this series, but I think Formal and Octane are still the key players to watch because they control the pace for both of their teams. And if whichever one is on, I mean, last game it was Formal. I mean, Octane was still playing well, but Formal would just put in work. I think he had like 33, 34 kills. So I'm looking at him again in game number 4.
Yeah, and also for Octane, he's had a rough going. I'm sure some of his scores have been higher, but his scythe hasn't been going off, but he's still choosing to go with that, going for the pure slaying power when it comes to his specialist choice. This could be the last map this whole weekend as we look at the Call of Duty World League presented by PS4 here for the North American Stage 1 Finals. Jack, what are your key points when we play Capture the Flag on evac?
I mentioned I want to see Rise protect Afterburner. It's because, 1, it lets them use that thruster pack as often as possible. 2, it lets them use those outer wall runs. If you haven't played too much Black Ops 3 competitive or you've just been new to watching it, you've been noticing a lot that on the outside of these edges of the map, there is the outer wall that players can go on. used as a tactic to get around opposing players. Don't give them lines of sight. You can get very, very low on a map like evac. I want to see players utilize this. Pull the flag, catch your opponent off guard, bring it through that back alley, get it across the map right away.
All right, well, the teams are pretty much all ready and set to go. They want to get right into this game. They came in prepared, knowing exactly what they want to do on both sides. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be match point, and if you're a fan of Rise, they need all the energy they can get right now. So start cheering wherever you are. Whether you're at home, whether you're here in the studio, Rise needs to be able to feel your energy. Meanwhile, OpTic, they're looking good. OpTic versus Rise Nation. Map number 4, match point for OpTic. Will they be the champions in Stage 1 of the Pro Division for the Call of Duty World League presented by PS4? Time to find out with Maven and Mr. X.
Rise Nation, please, take all of my energy. You can have it. I'll turn into a slug here on stage.
Yeah.
I want a 7-game series. I want an epic final. Can they bring it back at all, or is OpTic just too strong?
OpTic has just hit another level, and it's something obviously from being in championship matches over and over again against, you know, teams led by Clayster and FaZe and whatnot. And you're going to have this next gear you can get to, and Rise doing their finals, obviously the one against OpTic at Totinos, they win. The game completely changed from then till now. I think Rise needs to get to that next level to challenge OpTic on this map for the remainder of the series, or else we could be seeing this one end here.
Well, we had one 3-0 lead evaporate earlier this weekend with Liquid versus H2K. Can Rise Nation replicate that incredible performance? Let's kick it off. Side 1, CTF on evac. This is their opportunity to get something going, and you need it from Looney. Looney has got to have a big performance. He went so big. He slowed down quite a bit in this series. Is he going to be able to answer back? But when you have Classic getting gunned by a Kuda at range, is that the story of this series?
I was just going to say, Karma actually getting off to a tear here. He's going to pick up 4 kills. Somehow wins that gunfight as well. He had to be weak. Karma, he's been using the Kuda when he goes to the SMG during this series, and he's been doing some nice things with it, getting off to a fantastic start. And Karma all the way to Black Ops 2, one of the better CTF players in the world. So expected Karma to come out hot here, and he's shown up in a big way early, 5-0.
Well, they still have a pinch here. I mean, look at the base right now. They are just scared. They're hiding in their back building. That is not the way you can play CTF, but they don't have a choice right now as the pressure is coming. 6-0 start, almost snaps on another, but the flag should be out soon if they can win a couple gunfights, but still holding strong is the Rise Nation defense. Finally, 4 down. They've cleared out their base. They can take a moment and breathe.
You got to get further up the map now, though. I mean, if you're Rise Nation, you can't just kind of stay all the way back by your AC, play some defense. You need to put some pressure on OpTic Gaming. The one thing that Rise was doing in their earlier series, they're challenging a lot of gunfights. And they looked really confident doing it. This one, I mean, you just even saw from the play in Octane,
this could be a score. This could be a score.
They have a really nice step. They got to kill this guy inside of apartments, and Karma's going to win that gunfight. It's going to be...
What is Karma doing to these poor guys? Oh, my God, there's the returned Karma.
The guy is always in position to make a play, man.
And that, you know, that hot start, he wouldn't have had that heat wave yet.
No.
But he got off to such a big play early in the game. He had the heat wave, and that may have saved a flag, but Classic has still got it out. But you've got OpTic Gaming lying in wait at your base. Scump going to be the one pushing this flag carry. He might kill him as he crosses. There's the return. The pull on the other side from Krim. They're trying to answer back. The counter cap may be real here from OpTic, but that is 4 down. Octane, the only one on the map.
The only one alive from either team on the map, and he's going to clear out his base and push in towards OpTic Gaming side of the map. And this is what you want to see for Rise. You need more aggression out of this team. They need to keep the pace up, because earlier in the day, I mean, they're challenging everyone. They were winning gunfights looking electric. Right now, to get some energy back, you got to play at that faster speed. You know, everyone starts communicating a little bit faster. You get into that better groove of the game, and I think it would work out well for Rise.
Well, what would you recommend on this side? When you're trying to push towards helipad, get flag out, what's the best way to get it done, Matt?
In CTF, obviously, you know, we want to get a little bit slower with our pushes, and you want to pinch and then pull it over towards apartments. And Octane trying to put some shots down on the Krim, and Krim's going to win that gunfight. See, Looney's able to win one. As a player behind him, that's a tough one to win with a VMP, regardless of whether the guy has a submachine gun or an AR, and he's not able to win that. Scump shuts down that push.
I mean, he had the heat wave, but way out of range, obviously. He'll save that for another day. 2 down now for Rise Nation. The push is coming in from OpTic Gaming. We'll watch Formal here as he pushes forward. Looney's able to play a little bit of base defense with the grenade. And now you have Karma, the 2-time world champ, left by himself, but in a position where he can wreak a little havoc here on the side of Rise Nation.
That situation, you'd almost rather have Formal just post up and try and get kills in the base, wait for some teammates to get across the map, and you see Karma rotating back towards base. He's going to be able to pick up one, knows the push is coming from Rise Nation, and it's going to be Formal all the way in the back with an AR. He's going to be able to lock this down with these, and you should start to see the other players on OpTic Gaming trusting Formal to hold that position down and start pushing up the map.
All right, well, now they got to rotate back. As you saw, Scump win a gunfight up top. He's going to fall. Base control for either side. Now it's time to push out. You can see the arrows starting to flood across mid-map. A little bit more defensive from the side of Rise, and that's exactly the opposite of what you're asking for.
You see Formal starting to get going with the AR. He's going to post up on that left-hand side of the map. Let's see if OpTic can start to make a push. You see Looney, he's going to win one gunfight. Now he's going to start pushing through. I believe that's going to be Krim back there with the Man of War. It seems like Krim and Formal just keeps trading off who's going to watch the base, and Krim's going to fall all the way back. Scump's going to pull it with kinetic armor. He's going to be stuck in lockers. Oh, he's going to be able to actually make it out. He's got to get around this corner, though. He just keeps touching every single object. Potentially could bring this down to the middle of the map.
Look at this use of camo.
The camo used by Krim. The smoke comes in. Oh, Looney takes him out through the smoke. Fantastic shots there by Looney.
Yeah, you had Karma trying to get in on the action, went on the lower wall run, might still be able to get in a position. Looks like, oh, well, actually, that player hit the opposite wall run, so Classic not aware of his presence. There's not a lot of time left, but maybe a chance for a last-second desperate flag run. Karma's going to grab it. Classic and crew going to get it on the other side. It's going to work for Rise Nation. They've got it out. They've got their basic here. This could be the score you need. 10 seconds on the clock. Strap on your Nikes. You got to get forward here. 7 seconds trying to get it in. They need it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. There it is. Rise is on the board.
And that's a huge play for Rise Nation. They get some momentum going into the second half. Looney, the one that makes the play. He's the guy that's been struggling in this series, so hopefully that could catapult him to start having better games.
Yeah, I think it's a confidence thing. You know, when you played your earlier series and you were winning a lot of gunfights early, you were getting hot, you were feeling strong.
It's easy to get rolling.
It is, but when you come into the series and you're going up, you know, against a team that has better gun skill, you could say, especially with the likes of Scump, he hasn't been winning those gunfights, and it feels like you're, you know, kind of headbutting a wall, right? You're just hitting it, not able to win those. You get frustrated. Just a little bit of positive gameplay could go a long way for him right now.
Absolutely. In the second half, you're going to see OpTic Gaming get 2 kills right off the rip. You expect a really fast attempt at this Rise flag. If OpTic can score early, that would kind of negate all the positives that Rise has here towards the end. You see Karma getting really low on this back wall run. Going to have to try and make his way up towards the helipad.
Can
soon,
he get there? Look at this.
He's going to get there.
The routes, he's going to find one. The Kuda long range, not connecting, but still disrupting. He's the only player here. He spent more time running on these walls than he has done anything else, but his movement's on fire. Sorry, sir.
Octane is sleeping right there.
Yeah, taking a little bit of a nap, but not going to work. Okay, Karma, you know what?
He's buying his teammates so much time here.
Let's just watch him run around.
Rise has no idea where he is. His teammates are actually pushing through the front. Karma's done an excellent job distracting the players. That's Looney and Slack in the kill feed, and Looney gets a big 2-piece there as Foremost coming through the middle with the assault rifle. Now you expect to see Rise on the offensive.
Yeah, can they get forward here? Krim was one of the last guys up in a position to get to mid-map. He's going to be cut down, and now you've got an opportunity for Rise. You need to get a map win here. Was that a team kill coming in? No, Looney actually fell off the map, so what would have been a 3v2 maybe on a push here at the OpTic base, now you just see Slack by his lonesome, but the sneaky position pays off. Finds one, tries to gun a second, not able to win it.
Somebody on OpTic Gaming needs to get close to the Rise base outside of Karma. I feel like Karma's been the one every time to try and sneak behind enemy lines. He's been the one trying to bait for his teammates. And
I feel like Karma's thought he's at a theme park during this game. Like, what?
Here he goes again.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, surprise, Looney. Here I am.
But there's nobody there to trade that kill out. I mean, nobody else from OpTic Gaming near the Rise Nation base able to help him. He's not going to go in there and just win 2 gunfights miraculously and get the flag out. You see Krim trying to push one-on-one. If you're in the, the OpTic comms right now, you would need to just kind of settle everybody down, a little bit too much energy from those previous matches, right? And you're going to have to make 2, 3 good pushes together as a team.
Well, this is a good thing, I think, for Rise in the fact that there was a lot of energy out of OpTic, right?
Yes.
It's kind of hard to maintain that energy during a CTF because it slows down a lot. Is this a swing game? I mean, if Rise can get a win here, maybe get something going. What do we have coming up next, potentially?
Coming up next, you'd have a Hunted, Search, and Destroy. That's one that's a little bit of a toss-up.
Yeah.
Rise, one of the better teams at holding down the B cave, especially Octane. Then after that, you'd have a Fringe Hardpoint, which if they get the ARs going, who knows? So series far from over if obviously
If they
Rise
can
able to win
take
this
this,
one.
yeah. I think it would go a long way. Maybe you kill a little bit of the momentum. Is that Karma? I thought Karma again won a long one with the Kuda, but now Slack's got it out. He's got a good run here. You have one player behind. Scump might be able to stop it, but it's Octane up top. He's got a gun at range. He has the M8. Going to cut down any advance, and this will be a second cap through for Rise Nation. Finally, some life here for the boys.
Yeah, and it was Scump, the only player that had a chance to make a play, and he's not going to be able to gun Octane at range from with a VMP. And you see they're starting to wisen up. They know that Karma just keeps hitting these low wall runs. It's going to be Slack taking him out, and that's the only player they have to worry about, making an attempt on the flag.
Right now.
Karma's been the only one who's pushed through. As soon as you kill Karma, there's no reason almost to even check your base.
Nice win there from Looney. He's being a nuisance, kind of filling the role that Karma is on the other side. He's 16 and 15, rebounding a little bit from the slow start in the first 3 games of this best of 7. But it is the grand final, and Crim6 has the flag out. He's going to have to win a one-on-one. He's still got a little bit of juice left in the Camo. He's turned. It's Camo on Camo, and he obliterates Classic there. Can he get one on the board? There's another player to stop it, but he is shut down, and Crim will get one home. 80 seconds left on the clock, and OpTic Gaming tied up and pushes to OT.
It's a massive play by Crim6, and now it's going to be OpTic Gaming in the final minute trying to tie this one up. You see 2 kills go in the kill feed in their favor. Scump picks up another one. They're going to be able to get a flag pull here, Maven.
Happening?
Just
What's
which
happening?
side they elect to pull it to. It's going to be Scump bringing it over on that wall run. He's taken out in air, so the flag going to drop. And oh, well, Crim actually gets the lightning in the process. So with a minute left, you have one really good attempt if you're OpTic Gaming.
Very, very true. And everyone's coming off a spawn right now. The more you can disrupt things at home, the better it'll be for Rise Nation. Octane in a position here to turn this into a stalemate if he needs to. So he's going to get the pull, and he's just going to take it. Everyone pushed top side of the map.
You could end this in a counter as well. I mean, if I'm OpTic, I actually just force the issue at the Rise base. I ignore the fact that Octane even has this flag, and I worry about him last.
Come get me.
Yeah.
Come get me. Just hiding in here, trying to stay alive as long as he can. 2 down now for Rise. Classic playing a little bit of ace defense here, clearing it out for the time being, and he destroys Scump, trying to push through there to bottom kitchen. One more in the back. Give me more. Classic on a 5 streak. 10 seconds left. 2-1 lead for Rise Nation. It looks like they are going to extend the series.
Not over yet, Maven.
Oh, don't do this to me, man. We have
It
now.
is not over yet. You see the guys on Rise Nation. They're celebrating, trying to get.
There have been 2 comebacks from being down 3-0 in a best of 7. You and I have casted them both. Is there a possibility of a third?
Not saying we're talking about that yet, but.
All right. All right. Okay. Well, you know, you heard our thoughts. Rise back in business, but let's take it over to Chobra. It's all yours, buddy.
I got a real cool stat for you guys on this one.
I want to hear it.
Did you know 100% of reverse sweeps have started with map number 4?
Oh, really? Is that
It's on its way.
Oh, wow.
It's on its way. Rise just won. It is
true.
a 3-1 scoreline, and that map started real somber, right? Even we were trying to like dig for that silver lining and be like, how can Rise make it back?
Yep.
They get a little greedy towards the end, but they still get 2 caps and then hold off OpTic.
I mean, it was really Classic and Looney, who have both been quiet so far this series. They step up that map. They go big. Octane played his normal, like, kid on a camping trip role in the back of the map, pitching a tent, getting the kills he needs to stop the pushes from coming in from OG. And Karma the whole time, I'm pretty sure Karma was wall running 84% of that map.
84% is actually probably completely accurate. The thing about it is, when you're playing Rise Nation, and from what I just learned, the first time I've ever seen them play evac CTF is do not let them cap first. Because as soon as you do that, they had 2 people. I mean, with 4 minutes left on the second side, they had 2 people proning in the back of the spawn. They were not moving at all because that wall run for a player on Rise is so dangerous. They're just trying to keep tabs on OpTic and preserve that lead. That's really all it came down to there on the second side at the end, because OpTic really had no other choice but to try and wall run, try and push the base, try and force the issue, and they just weren't able to do that with success. And the flip side of that is since they were camping in the base so long, that allowed players from Rise to hit the flank and get a flag out, and that's why they got their second cap.
Yeah, I think getting that first cap at the last second on the first half for Rise, that threw OpTic a little off, because Karma trying that wall run again and again in the first minute and 30 kind of gave that signal to Rise like, oh, that's what they're going to do. Like, we need to watch out for that for 4 minutes and we're good.
And that's the great thing about capping first. It gives you the mindset now that you know for a fact that OpTic has to play into your play style. You have the advantage, and you can force the pace of the game at that point. Because, you know, like I said earlier, if they're going to be pushing your spawn over and over trying to get a flag out, that leaves so many lanes open for you to get to their base and really add on to that lead, and that's exactly what we saw there from Rise. That is textbook CTF by Rise Nation.
Yep. I think the afterburner protect definitely worked for him there.
Oh, yeah.
It more than paid off. It helped Looney get that first slag capture in the final seconds. Rise, they did what they needed to do in the Bandit Protect phase. They gave themselves an opportunity to win the game. We saw pro players tweet about it earlier. If they weren't doing it, there it happens. Going into Hunted, a lot is going to weigh on Octane on this map. A lot.
Yeah, so again, change the pace a little bit. It's going to go slower. It's going to be a little bit more tense once again as Search and Destroy comes back, and then it's Hardpoint and another Search and Destroy. So it's just these maps left, and it's all on Rise to have to win in a row to bring back home the title if they want to win this weekend.
It actually kind of scares me how similar Octane and Formal play to each other, because I've mentioned it, I think, at least 3 out of the 4 maps that we've played so far. They are both going to be in that B tunnel with either an AR or with a sniper. I mean, we saw Overkill banned here, and Thermal's going to be banned as well, but I still think that we might see a sniper. I mean, everybody's been using the L-car this entire weekend. It used to be very common earlier in the days of competitive Black Ops 3, and now it's made it sort of a resurgence as we move into the Specialist draft here. Scump running that kinetic armor, Slacked as well, so those would be some 2 key matchups right there. I mean, Octane with the Vision Pulse and Karma with the Heat Wave. I mean, very, I'm accustomed to these Specialist picks, but I love to see Formal and Classic both running that camo.
Yeah, again, that could be that one big play that secures them the entire match. And, of course, all the snipers make it through, and the Shiva being banned out once again on the side of Rise. They just don't want Crim to have that gun, but it is going to be Search and Destroy. Jack, what do you expect to see on this map?
So I've kind of marked it out for you right here. I'm mainly talking about defense on this Hunted SND. I drew a line through the middle of the map where basically that's what you need to hold on the defensive side. Here's a look at your 2 bomb sites, and I highlighted 2 players, Octane and Crim6. First, this is how Octane's going to play this. Octane, for Rise Nation, will set up right here behind the B-bomb. His one job is hold the line. Just hold from OpTic. Don't let them push in here. If you're going to wind up being there, you need to either get a kill and trade, or just back up, play your life, stop them, stall as much time as possible for our players to rotate from this A site. Now, one thing I really do want to point out here, to help Octane hold this area, you're going to need someone in this top red room, right up here on the map, that can watch down over middle to make sure no one can hit that mid wall run to catch his team off guard. Now, that middle map line is if OpTic Gaming can get past that, or the offensive team can get past it, that's where they'll see a lot of success. Now, on the other side of things, where Crim6 will play, you're going to wind up seeing Crim6 play in this top middle area, whether just right behind that right outside the mid water, behind the mid rock, or in top red room. He's going to be the guy that's either going to get first blood, first team, and a lot of information, or be first blooded by Rise Nation. Crim is going to be the X factor on this map for OpTic Gaming.
All right. Well, especially, I mean, on the side of Rise, it seems like all eyes on Octane. I mean, sure, all members are important, but also because the first couple maps they lost, Octane had a bit of a slow start. And then that CTF, he found his groove again. He got to pitch his tent a little bit, get the kills he needed. He has to be feeling better now going in. You mentioned Crim6. You mentioned Formal earlier, getting those kind of long-range sights and getting that first pick-off, especially in Search and Destroy. We'll see how it pans out. And this is going to be a fun match.
I'm going to be looking for big performances out of Scump for OpTic, and then Looney for Rise Nation, because I feel like Looney, it wants redemption. He had a little rough go of it in the uplink, and then you had Scump, who is just always doing really well. But I think when championship's on the line, Scump really usually has those breakout games.
All right, well, again, still match point for OpTic. Rise now trying to mount a miraculous comeback in the grand finals of the Call of Duty World League presented by PS4. It's going to be Hunted, Search, and Destroy. Maven, Mr. X, take it away.
Mark my words. If Rise Nation takes this map, it's going 7 games.
If you're Rise Nation, you got to feel really good if you take this and go into Fringe Hardpoint. You're a pretty strong Fringe Hardpoint team. You got the momentum at that moment in time. OpTic Gaming needs to put them away here.
I cannot agree with you more. Part of me, you know, as being a fan of Call of Duty, nothing to do with the teams, the players, just the spectacle of this weekend has been. I would do just about anything for a Game 7 right now.
Oh, I don't want to ask you particulars on that. Anyway, we'll see what happens here. It's going to be OpTic Gaming on the offensive side of things first. As they talked about, it's going to be Octane in this B cave, one of the best players locking this down solo. And this is why Rise, one of the better teams on this map, because they have one guy who can lock down that B cave and allows the other players to just spread out along the map, watch all of the lanes on Hunted.
Well, we're going to watch kind of Octane and Classic from the defensive side here, because they're going to be holding this B push. The first one is Octane picking it up. Now Classic going to be pushing forward. Is he going to be able to get a couple kills? He's got a sub on M8, picks up one. Second inside, not going to be able to get it. Classic drops, 2-on-3 for OpTic Gaming. Let's go to your bomb carrier Scump here, who is drowning in a waterfall.
You have actually the other player for OpTic Gaming. It's
Hello.
going to be Karma. Jump to Karma's screen real quick. He's actually, he's about to make a big play. He actually takes out Octane from behind on the B bomb site. So a 2v3 turns into a 2v1 scenario.
Yep.
Karma and Scump going big for OpTic.
You know, first blood percentage, the biggest stat in S&D. The first blood goes the way of Rise Nation, but the round may not unless Looney can clutch. The timing on this, he might just need to kill the bomb carrier if he guesses right, but he's going to check B, so it should be a safe plant for Scump.
And Looney's going to have a very difficult time with the M8 to be able to break into this A bomb site, and OpTic gets it down just in time. It's going to be 40 seconds Looney has to work with here. He's going to spot one, not able to take this player out.
Oh, the Kobe not going to connect. Will he get him on the corner, tags him up again, but look at the crossfire you've got. We'll look at Karma's point of view. Looking across, you see Scump as well. Got each other's back. Looney wrapping around the backside here at Patio, and he's got so much to do and not enough time to work with. 20 seconds here. He's going to have to fly in. You mentioned the fact that he has an M8 checking every corner, not able to pick it up. He guesses wrong, and that is Karma closing out the first round here of S&D.
Rise cannot lose rounds. They get first blood. This is too important of a game. They have Octane pick up one on the B bomb site, and they just let Karma get right down the middle of the map, and he goes big after Scum picks up one, able to take Octane out, and then that opens up the B cave, and it forces Looney to rotate in over from the opposite side of the map. That gives OpTic the A bomb site wide open. Big play by those two players, Scump and Karma.
All right, no sniper rifles going to be in play here for the push from Rise Nation. Let's check things out with Octane. Looks to be a little bit different of a push. They're going to want to favor A. I'm going to highlight Karma in the back as he's going to be the one likely dealing with this. You can see his angle. Players getting up in the window. They're going to push through. Another first blood for Rise. This round they absolutely have to take. Scump's going to be coming through stairs. He sees one, sees a second. I don't know how he wins that one, but he is able to pick up one player. 2 versus 3. Can they get the favor on their side again here for OpTic Gaming? And now let's check. Looney's wrapping around. The timing could be very, very good here.
He
saw the HC. He saw the HC cross. He's going to pick it up. The HC gets taken out as well. It's Crim now. 1 versus 3. M8 trying to push into A. It's going to be so hard. Makes it look easy. There's one. 40 seconds on the clock.
It's able to get out. I mean, he has a lot of places he could go. I mean, he could have went into water. He could have went back to the balcony. Opts to go back to balcony. He gets taken out. But, I mean, obviously we'll see how the rest of this map plays out. But Rise should be up 2-0. They can't lose that first round.
All right, well, they are able to tie it up here. Looney, they need a big performance from him. He is going to shut down that second round to square things up. Now let's take a look at Rise Nation on defense. We're actually going to go to a listen-in for this round 3 with Rise. Let's hear how they lock down Hunted.
I see Tiki Rush. They're on middle bridge. They could be hitting me. I backed up. Nothing in PP side. They threw a pre-nade from me. That was me. That was my nade. Where is he? I don't see anything bridge. Where's that kid just shooting at? No, one just jump back to He's an A bomb. Back on top, you guys. Back on top, you guys. He smoked it. He smoked my exit. One just pre-fire the stairs. They could be planning. I'm holding our back plat. I'm gonna jump up on these stairs over here. I'm about to pinch the staircase when you guys go. So let me know. One ran in window. Let me know when to go from A stairs. Right car. He's in the tip right car. Nothing heavy like bomb. Got him. Shit. What could be the water? Yo, I think they're playing our spawn. I'm gonna hop it. Just play my back door. I have your door. I'm on it. Nice. I'm halfway. Door window. You're fine. Good shit, yo. Good job. Yeah, good shit. Good job, Danny. Good call. Are you close?
Beautifully done there. It was amazing to hear the tension kind of build up. I got steps. Let me know when to push. You saw the collapse come. You heard Looney calling out the time on the bomb defuse. That was awesome to hear. You know, we don't listen to the S&D rounds that frequently. Hearing that level of communication from Rise is a very positive thing for this series.
Yeah, they had everything covered. You know, Slacked was watching that backdoor from the water. They had Classic, who jumped up onto that platform. He was able to take out one player in the final kill cam. He was, you know, watching players exiting water potentially, you know, coming through water and jumping onto there to get into the A bomb site. So fantastic execution there by Rise Nation.
All right, let's watch the push now for Rise. We're going to go back to them on offense. Just take a look at the top. Heavy B pressure coming. Crim is at back tunnel. He's going to have so much work to do here, and he's going to give it up. Let the plank get down. He needs to wait for his teammates here, not get too overzealous. He is going to at least be able to take out that trophy system.
So let's see how OpTic elects to play this. There's a few different ways they can. They can push all the way through the B cave here, just powering behind Crim. They can send one player all the way on the flank, albeit you don't have a lot of time to work with. And then you could have went either through the water up the middle of the map, and they're going to actually do a bait for there. That's going to be Formal picking up that kill on the Looney as Scump dives by, and it's going to be Crim picking up a gunfight.
Classic's coming from behind. There's one. Gimme two. Finds that as well. A third in front. They're trading forward. Classic now by himself. Crim 6 though is on it. Crim is on it. He's almost there. Can he get it done? Classic trying to peek. He picks it up and he gets the kill just in time. Not enough time here for OpTic
Karma
Gaming.
was standing on top of the bomb. I think with like 6 seconds left, he might have been able to get that, and it looked like, I don't know what gun he had at the beginning of the round, but it looked like that's the animation you'd get when you would pick up a gun and take an M8.
Once he dropped, I don't know. M8. It was very close. It was very close. I'm not sure if he would have had it.
Let's see if we catch in the final kill.
That is clutch stuff from Classic, making the play just in the nick of time. Rise Nation's coming alive.
So you saw there in the final kill cam, that's actually Karma with a pistol, so you got to believe he picked that one up.
All right, well, here we go, boys. This time, we want to do a listen-in offense. OpTic Gaming, take it away, boys.
Okay. I'll go in the room. Let's go. Let's win this shit.
Throwing a nade out middle.
Yo, I'm gonna distract the fuck out of him, Seth. All right.
Hold on. Just wait for Matt to see if there's anybody.
No, I hit him. They're mid block.
They're mid block.
Yeah.
Okay. One's there.
I'm gonna hit it.
Wait, yeah, one's the mid building.
He's not weak. He's not weak. Sorry.
I'm hitting it right now.
Mid building, one shot.
Be right,
One shot, guys.
Look at the flank.
Oh, I'm absolute octane, bro.
Water.
Nice.
He might push me.
Yeah.
Stay alive.
They naded from their mid.
We're good.
Yo, Matt, I'm going down. I'm going down.
He's in the block. Close left,
Yo, one guy B.
Close
One
left,
guy B. High glitch. Stay alive.
Close left. He's in the water now, I think.
Oh,
one was
shit.
in water as well.
I'm not getting in water.
There were two in water.
Yo, 1 second. I'm
Yo,
going
he's
down
right
here.
here.
Oh, fuck.
Nice. My kill. Octane was still in water somewhere.
Yo,
he's in our building. In our building.
Two. They're both there. Both here. In window. He waved. He came on.
Oh, he didn't hit him with it.
Oh my God! You hear him? He waved, but the camo comes out. Rise Nation takes it 4-1 advantage. Baby, we've got ourselves a series.
Oh, and the heat wave actually doesn't connect on the Classic. Not close enough. I love the idea to use it there in that situation.
Did he hit it right before he went over the rock, basically?
If he would have waited maybe another second when Classic got a little bit closer, he would have connected with the heat wave. But no, very nice try there by Karma. Karma and Classic, 2 players who are X factors for their team, both going off. Yeah, you got Classic double positive, Karma 6 and 2 as well. So both players playing well, but it's Rise Nation with a 4-1 round advantage.
Nerves. Maybe some jitters starting to come in for OpTic Gaming as you're seeing Rise Nation begin to have faith, begin to come alive. You've got HCs out from both sides about to do battle here on the bridge. Nothing coming from it, and that's going to be an open site. Classic's got it down. Let's check in the back. They finally destroyed the opposite HC car, but this is an early plant, 4 up. Scump starting to get aggressive here on the defensive side of things. Might find one out. Think he saw his head. Can he win it? Yes. Scump picks up 1 kill. There's a player in the back that's got a lot to work with. That's Octane, the bait and switch coming in. They tag him up in back rock. Can he win it? He's hit both players. He's still alive. He's such a key to surviving here because Slack is sitting underneath. It's just these 2 to deal with everything. Oh, hello. Did he see him? He had to have seen him, right?
I don't think so.
He had to. There it is. He's going to be able to pick it up. Octane picks up one as well. 2v2. 15 seconds left. He tries to stick it, I think, but they go. Oh, my God. He was hiding behind the bomb right as Scump came up, and Octane is going to take a round here. They've got 2 on the board.
Yeah, Scump with a big round, taking out Looney at the beginning, and then obviously to come out of water, kill Slack at the end there. And OpTic Gaming just needs to put the pressure on Rise Nation, because Rise, it's obvious, once they get the momentum, that they can string together some nice consecutive round wins. So OpTic Gaming, you look for them to take this next round and then start to really lay it on this Rise Nation team.
All right, well, here we go. Hopping into round 7. You still got a little bit of a cushion if you're Rise, right? You're feeling okay still, but you want to put OpTic Gaming away. You have to get it done. You don't want this to get any closer here, give any more life to OpTic once they get going. So difficult to stop them. What do you think about the setup and push you have from OpTic Gaming right now, Matt?
Well, it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a slower execute. Obviously everyone playing a little bit further back, trying to draw some players out on Rise, and I like it because, players like Classic and Looney have been really aggressive at the beginning of these rounds, and look at that, Looney getting a little bit of aggressive Formal catches him off guard.
Nice patience there. Looney, maybe overzealous, but they're able to pick it up. OpTic 4-3 advantage right now. Who do you want to hop in with? You'll see it's a very, very slow push from OpTic. They're waiting on mistakes right now from Rise Nation.
Yeah, I think we stay on with the offensive team. In this situation, up 1 player, you control the destiny of the round. And to see how they elect to play this. Crim's going to dive into the water, and he's able to pick up one. Now with a 2-man advantage, you expect OpTic to pick up this round. And start to figuring out what this Rise Nation team's been doing right. You see Formal's going to take out Classic. It's going to be all up to Octane here. It'd be a legendary round if he's able to win it.
1 versus 4. He's got the 45 seconds to work with. Look at the X-ray. You see the setup from OpTic. They're spread out. They're ready to control, but they give him a free one. He's got 1 on the board. 3 more to go with. And you have to play these kind of reckless. He's a slower AR player, but you have to go. In any 1v4 situation, time is your biggest obstacle. Can he pick up a couple more here? He might see one from the bomb site, but the flank comes through for Crim across bridge. And that's another round here for OpTic Gaming. They're screaming back.
That's a little bit of a different way of thinking, but I don't think he needed to play that really aggressive after he gets that first kill. I think you could have waited. I mean, he had about 30 seconds left. I think you probably could have waited down to 20 trying to pick up one more player. And if a guy like Crim, he catches Crim on the bridge, he's got, what, 22 seconds left to fly into the bomb site and potentially make something happen?
I don't know.
I think he could have taken a little bit more time there.
I like the reckless plays when you're in a 1v4. You just have to get it going quick.
Doesn't shock me with you and reckless.
Well, yeah, you know, hey, I'm a wise man. But now you see it's going to be a B hit coming for Rise Nation. They want to get going quickly. The nice movement from Classic over the top. He's going to find one in the corner, but he's not going to be able to win it. 1 down for either side. Kills traded here. Rise still has a 1-round advantage. They might find one mid-map. The shot's off. Looney, one you should have picked up, but not able to close out. Let's check the plant. Slacked, getting it down on the B site now. If Looney peeks through HUD, he should see a couple here tagged up. Almost kind of an unintentional bait and switch.
Yeah, Looney's so worried about players flanking. He's going to use his heat wave. He's going to be able to pick up one. And I do like the use of heat wave in this round. And it's going to be Crim tying this up at 2 players apiece. Now we're going to have a 1v1. It's going to be Octane going up against Crim. And I wonder if Crim got tagged with the vision pulse there. See how Octane elects to play this. He's going to fly around the corner and check the bomb. Octane going to win that gunfight. Don't know if he got tagged on vision pulse. Didn't want to say where Crim was, but you got to think that Octane had a fantastic idea of how Crim was electing to play that one. And I think you needed to use those specialist abilities to secure that round. OpTic's gaining momentum. You wanted to kind of end that steam that they were starting to gather, and Rise does that. They have to just win 1 more round, take this map, maybe, and make this series very, very interesting.
Rise is trying to make this interesting here in the grand final. I hear the fans for Rise starting to get it together. They were a little quiet early as the OpTic Gaming team looks so dominant, but we've got ourselves a series here. I want to watch Classic on the defensive side of things. Is he'll be in a position here to disrupt things if they push across the B? And oh, this is not looking good for OpTic because you've got a nice setup here. Lots of players in and around this side for the side of Rise. There's one. There's a second planting. Can he pick him up? He knows bomb is down. They're going to collapse. The kills coming in. Crim by himself. 1 versus 3. Rise has almost done it. Is he going to be able to close it out? Octane's on the defuse. We're halfway there, and Crim is dead. Rise Nation has just found their second map, and they're back in this one.
Yeah, and it's big games from Octane and Classic as Rise Nation takes the S&D on Hunted 6-3. Nade was talking about earlier how devastating those water routes are, and it was Slacked and Classic during that game in the water, able to make some big plays.
COD gods above, David Vonderhaar, give me a game 7. Just please give me a game 7. Chopra, Jack, and now Revin. Take it away, guys.
Yeah, we got Revin joining us to share some of his thoughts. We heard from Nate earlier, but also now the big point is, of course, Rise is starting to pull it together. I mean, you saw the co-owners of Rise, including, of course, the NFL player of the LA Rams, Roger Saffold, up there now looking a little bit more relaxed. Earlier, you saw they looked grim and as right as they should be. But now there's some light on the side of Rise.
Rise Nation stepped up. They did what they needed to do. Obviously, they stayed alive in Game 4. They're going to force this one into another hard point, but I predicted OpTic Gaming to win this series 4-2. They're up 3-2 right now. I'm still sticking with my prediction. I think OG are going to come out of this hot.
How good Jack's predictions are. That's all he's been talking
I mean,
about.
you know, when you get something right now and then, you got to brag about it a little bit, Revin. But how have you been seeing this series so far? I mean, OpTic looks so strong in the first 3 maps.
This series has been crazy. I mean, I definitely didn't expect OpTic Gaming to go up 3-0 off the bat. I thought Rise Gaming were definitely going to take the uplink going into that game. It's always been that one game that they've been able to rely on to turn things around throughout the entire stage 1. So OpTic Gaming definitely making a statement in that game 3. And then, of course, Rise, for me, I think they're right back in the series now.
Yeah, I mean, the way they played this entire search and destroy, especially the last 2 rounds, once they started winning, they knew they had the lead.
How clutch was that kill, by the way?
That was crazy. I mean, there were a lot where it was just coming down to that last second, and Rise started to pick it up, and then they got their flanks and their timing so perfectly. this kill right here, they use the water a lot and very efficiently. They were very patient about when they happened to jump up onto bomb site B.
That's why whenever I do the Tulshire, I draw the Kappa face in the water, because you never know what's going to happen on that part of the map.
Yeah, they clutch up a few times, killing the diffuser just in time. This S&D actually felt pretty darn similar to that first S&D in the series. You know, it was pretty even at times between the two squads. Obviously, OpTic taking that one. Now Rise coming back and taking that search and destroy. We got ourselves a series. I just tweeted it. We definitely will be seeing this one go to a Game 6. You heard Maven say, hopefully, COD gods give us a Game 7. We all want to see it here.
Bandahar is in the building, so.
This is true.
Well, yeah, I mean, any and all powers that may be. I mean, a lot of people are looking forward to that Game 7 regardless of which team you're cheering for, right? Because, we're looking at the top 2 teams during the regular season go at it in the grand finals, in the playoffs. I mean, this is everything you could have dreamed for if you're following the Call of Duty World League presented by PS4. So now it's almost there. It's coming to fruition. We're going to the map 6. The big question is, it's another hard point, and we know how that first one went.
Tell me this series isn't looking like H2K versus Team Liquid.
Ooh, it is, though. It is. I mean, you're right. Not just because of the score, but the momentum change and the attitude change, right? Even the energy level difference.
The demeanor I saw from Rise at the beginning of the series compared to how they're looking now, you could see they're starting to gain some momentum behind them. And, you know, fire's lit under them now, and I could see this going to Game 7.
I genuinely couldn't ask for a more exciting map to go into next. Fringe Hardpoint has had some of the most legendary comebacks in the game mode so far in Stage 1. Rise being one of them early on in the Stage 1. So much looking forward to a map that you have very clear points where the ARs are dominant, very clear points where the submachine guns are dominant. If you're going to be the team that wins this map, everyone needs to step up.
Yeah, this is, I mean, it really, sure, we say this, I mean, whenever you're down 0-3, like, it comes down to every map. But now if you win this, you reset everything, and then you, in fact, go in with higher energy, a better attitude into that last game. So this is going to be a big test for Rise. And to get to this point, I mean, we're in a 3-2 grand final. We've had a great weekend of Call of Duty. Of course, a big shout out to everyone who's made this possible. I mean, especially Activision and Treyarch making this game possible, but then everyone involved in bringing together the Call of Duty World League, presented by PS4. Of course, Sony right up there, the ESO studios here, and all the fans here in the studio and around the world. There's a lot of people watching right now.
We are breaking some major viewing numbers for Black Ops 3. I will tell you right now, tell your friends about what's about to happen right here, because
this could be history.
If Rise somehow forces Game 7 and make this the incredible story we've wanted, this will be a series of Call of Duty that will be remembered forever.
Yeah, it will be a big one. Of course, big shout out to Nate too for dropping some of his knowledge, maybe some not as accurate. You guys might not agree. He disagreed with you guys on a couple of things, but it was nice having him and his thoughts, because he used to be a player. He knows what it's like. You guys talk whenever you and Nate were here.
He's one of those guys that helped shape competitive to get it where it is today. So it's always nice to see him around.
Yeah, I enjoyed whenever you two would talk, because it's a completely different conversation than like any of us, because you guys have similar
we know
memories.
the game.
Exactly. Well, yes, that too. That's not wrong. But you also know exactly kind of what's going through. You've been in similar situations. You know these players a little bit more personally. So it was nice getting that angle. But right now, all eyes, I mean, we got people standing, sitting in the studios. I'm sure at home you're watching with your friends, whether it's online together, because if this goes to a Game 7, can you imagine Game 7 round? It comes down to one last round to determine who wins.
If that goes down to an Infection S&D, that will be nuts, because that's a map where we've seen some insane plays go down, some incredible clutches. Obviously, inside that small B room is so hectic, but they got to get through Fringe first, right? They got to beat OpTic Gaming on Hardpoint, something they failed to do earlier in the series.
Not only, like, if it goes to Game 7, we could potentially see OpTic Gaming get reverse sweeped in the grand finals.
That's something that no one's going to forget. On one hand, for OpTic, they're not going to forget, because they were so close to proving that they're number one, not only online, but also offline. But for Rise, they're going to make sure people continue talking about it, because they kind of built up the story themselves. They hyped up themselves by being like, oh, yeah, no, we want to play FaZe and OpTic, because we need to beat them to prove to everyone why we're here. Well, here we go. We're getting ready for the Protects and Bans for map number 6. It's been match point for so long, it seems, for OpTic Gaming, but it's getting closer and closer for Rise Nation.
Really looking forward to getting into this one. Revan, any particular bands you expect to see on a map like Fringe Hardpoint?
Honestly, mainly only the Shiva I expect. That seems to be something that both teams kind of want to target. And there you see it's going to get banned out early on. But for the most part, throughout this entire series, I think both teams have a very similar game plan and what they want to approach going into this ban and protects.
What I really like from OpTic right now is that they're not going off of the stuff they're not straying away from their original game plan, right? Even though they've kind of faltered a little bit, they've given Rise a chance to come back into this. No, it's still an overclock ban. It's still an HC ban. They now go forward with, obviously, Flashbang and expect Concussion to finish it on out. OpTic are still playing the game they want to, which will definitely help them going into this Fringe hard.
And this is exactly what Rise want as well. They want to take the tacticals out. They want high caliber, rapid fire to be banned. They're okay with the HC getting taken out. Overclock, Shiva, they're fine with that. So really nobody getting the upper hand with these bans and protects. It's going to be kinetic armor to round things out.
I like that. I mean, just because whenever we talk about kinetic armor, we always talk about Scump, and there's a reason. Because he loves that special ability, and because of his love for it, he's so good at using it at the perfect time, getting the right challenges done. Of course, Scump playing those hills a lot of the time on hardpoint. So getting that out, I'm interested to see what does Scump go with. It's going to be the Purifier.
Matches his red hair, man.
So going with the Purifier, getting a little bit more aggressive this time now that the kinetic armor is gone. Other than that, though, we're going to see the usuals come out. The Tempest returns now that's hardpoint.
I like it.
Going a little bit more with the zoning choices.
Now, normally we would see Crimsix pick up the Purifier when that's available if kinetic armor got banned out, but this time it's going to be Scump. Curious to see how it fares in his hands.
Yeah, Camo, of course, coming back on both sides, but there's a lot of aggression going on now in this hard point on Fringe. The slaying power of both teams need to be at 100% for them to be able to take the win in map number 6.
Yep.
Jack, what are your key points
so
for this one?
I'm really going to highlight a couple hills on this one. The first one, though, is going to be this Rails hard point. This is one that both Rise and OpTic Gaming have very similar plays or ways of playing this one, normally against teams of lesser slaying power, and that's where all 4 players on either side just flood in and try to outmuscle their opponent, right? They just try to beat them in gun skill, and that's it. Against lesser teams, that will work for these 2 squads, but against their opposing squad, and this one, definitely not something that will happen that easily. I want to see which squad winds up sending a player down through this middle street to get the pinch onto the opposing side. Whether it's Rise or OpTic Gaming, either team can do it. We've seen how impactful that can be. When a pinch comes in, you not only get control of the hard point, but you force the spawns out all the way in back alley, which gives your team the opportunity to not only set up, but get a ton of time for your team on that hill. Now that's for the Rails hard point. Also, with the Purifier coming into play, that's going to be a big one to watch on this Granny's hard point. Expect a really good game between Rise and OpTic Gaming here.
I'm really glad you brought that flank because that's something that we kind of haven't touched upon yet in Fringe Hardpoint. Just pushing through the middle of the street, maybe meeting the opposing flanker from the other team. It's also an alternative way to push out that spawn.
Okay, map number 6. The energy's high. Fans here in the studio, I want to hear you make some noise because this finals, we were a little worried that it was going to end super quick early on, but now it's going all the way to map 6. Are you guys excited for Fringe Hardpoint between OpTic Gaming and Rise Nation? I want us to get noise complaints from Santa Monica. That's how loud I want you to be. I'm sure we'll hear more of it as we get into the game. There we go. Everyone getting, you see crowds lined up in the back, people up in the front. At the same time, I don't blame if not everyone's super loud right now because some people are a little nervous because OpTic Gaming, they're still on match point, and Rise, they're the one with the momentum right now. Fringe Hardpoint, map number 6, grand finals of the Call of Duty World League presented by PS4, bringing you the action. It's going to be Maven and Mr. X.
Woo! Let's go, boys. Game 6. I want a game 7. I will do anything. Anything.
So the ban and protect process, the last thing that was gone was kinetic. I think Rise could have made a bigger impact getting rid of the stock. I think Octane, a pretty good assault rifle player without stock, throws Formal off a little bit, throws Scump off a little bit. You know, Nate talking about the VMP with stock meta we have going on. I thought that could have made a major impact, especially on a longer map. And you see OpTic, they're pretty fired up, and they got to believe in themselves now. I mean, they get off to a slow start. Then we talk about how breaks are important on maps. This is a huge one for Rise Nation. They come out with a really nice start. It silences OpTic, and it's got to get in their heads that they could potentially be going to a Game 7.
All right, let's go, baby. Game 6. Can OpTic close it out? Can Rise Nation push it to a Game 7? No, I have no idea. This is going to be an insane matchup. A couple down for OpTic Gaming here early on. Scump trying to peek White Truck. Picks up one in front as he's going to play it safe here. Try to control mid, and that is going to be 4 down for Rise Nation. Control here for OpTic Gaming.
Yeah, Rise Nation just needs to break even on this hill. They just can't let OpTic get a lot of free time. This is one that you'll take whatever you can get on that first go-around. And you're really worried about getting that second and third hill hill. Those are the two you want to control, and just like that, it's going to be 4 dead in favor of Rise Nation. So you're just going to see Classic try and pre-aim this fence. You're going to see players look over him with assault rifles, and he just needs to stay alive as long as possible.
He's trying to, using this truck. He's going to re-peek and challenge, picks up the assist, and that's going to be a 2-piece for Slack before dropping. But now we're rotating over to Yard. First man in, going to be Looney. He needs to have a big performance. They need him to be like that semifinal matchup, going up vertical. Player going to be pushing him here shortly. Can he win a key gunfight here? Backside 10, the answer is no. That's going to be Crim6 taking him out. But on the other side, you've got Octane, 3 streak, 4 and 2. Looking to lock down things here from back alley. 1 in his sights. He can win that. 2nd in his sights. Takes him as well. Octane heating up. Finds a 3rd before he drops. Rise Nation coming alive here in a big way.
And some big kills when we were on with Looney were from Octane. He was in that back alley, took 2 players out on the flank, and you see Rise Nation just flooding into the hard point. Kills being shaded by both teams. You see Classic jumps in. He's able to take out 1. Formal takes him out from afar, and it's going to be Scump and Formal in the kill feed, as it's going to be OpTic Gaming getting control of Auto.
Well, they're going to close it out for the scrap time, but the important 2 players are going to be Crim6 here, I have highlighted, and Karma in the back. They have to lock down the spawns, and they're doing an excellent job of that thus far, but the flood is coming in here. Look at all the red arrows. They're trying to vie for control of Grandma's. They've got the inside locked down, but it's all about Karma and these spawns.
Again, look at how far that one player on OpTic spawn. He's actually going to come down the middle street and trail the guys on Rise Nation. You see Crim picking up 2 kills, but it's going to be Classic and Looney in the back of the OpTic base. It's going to be Rise with the opportunity to pinch on this hill. This is a big play from Looney, and it gets shut down by Crim with the L car, and it's going to be Rise winning some gunfights, trying to work their way around the back. Classic with a big win. Same with Looney, as it's going to be Rise Nation taking control of this hill.
We've got another lead change here. Rise has held the back, and they're looking to maintain control. They've already got Looney rotated, ready for tracks here, and to watch this side. There's one. Can he pick any of them up? The heat wave goes off, not connecting at all, but Slack still soaking up some time. Watching this front door. 4 down for OpTic as Octane, Slack, and Classic all coming in on the kill feed. Rise starting to pull away. 10 or so seconds left here.
Giving up on this hill. OpTic's giving up on this hill as well. They're going to go play for tracks. And we talk about these 2 teams, some of the best in the game at taking a lot of times on this hard point, and Octane is not messing around in this game 6. 14 and 5 to kick things off. He wants to prove that he's the best they are in the game.
Takes out another. Octane.
Yeah, he turns around. He knows one was at Peaches. He's going to get heat waved, and Karma able to take him out, but here comes Classic with the Tempest. We've seen big plays with this weapon all weekend long. Rise spawning OpTic out all the way back alley. They need to push together. He's not able to get one. Would have been a big play if he connected with one player there.
Oh my God, yeah, he hits one of those, and I think he is just trying to push in. You see a couple. But as we rotate now into our second side of hard points here, we're going back to mid-map, and I want to listen in with the green wall. Let's turn it over to OpTic Gaming.
2 yard, front barn.
I'll go Grandma.
Go on top barn.
I got 1.
Nice one.
I'm going in up.
I don't see the guy top barn. Could be Yard.
1 Z, Z. Z and top Grandma's with sight.
In up, camping up,
Hill dead, hill dead.
Nice.
1 Z, 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 Z.
1 shot, 1 white truck as well. 1 shot hill, guys. 1 L wall.
1 shot in up.
1 shot.
Nice,
One
one.
white truck. White truck. White truck.
Side this
Anybody push hill?
Where is the sight?
Anybody push hill?
He's right. White truck.
Yeah, white truck. 1 shot.
Got him. Sight dead.
More hill.
L wall Grandma's.
1 shot. Stay down. I'm trying. No, I died. Fuck, my bad.
I'll get hill, I'll try to get hill.
All Grandma. All Grandma.
Z.
Who's in my side?
Top Grandma's weak. 1 Z in hill. Dead.
Nice.
White truck and Grandma in dub.
The dart killed me now.
White truck and in dub.
Dub dead.
Nice, good job, 1 dead.
He's head glitching hill from dub. Head glitching hill dub.
Okay, here.
Yeah, he's the right side. Classic. Nice. Go to new.
Big truck.
We're gonna play the back.
Mid truck got me, Octane. Is that? Let's go. Next hill is huge, guys. Next hill is huge.
I'm pitching this shit.
Okay.
I have a purifier.
Look in the back alleys on the head glitch.
One guy's getting up.
And we're back with an advantage here for Rise Nation. They're controlling, but the fire's out for Scump, just trying to break in. The truck uses cover. Can he pick up the kill? No, he will get dropped. And that's both weapons for OpTic Gaming taken out. You saw the scythe shut down by Slack's dart earlier.
I was going to say, I was on with Slack when we were in that listen. I was like, this is weird to see a dart in hardpoint as you see a heat wave come out. And everyone dropped for OpTic Gaming. But Slack throws the dart out, and he's able to take out the site player. Big play. Probably doesn't realize how big that is in the scope of the game, as if Formal gets set up in that middle of the map. Might have been OpTic Gaming taking a lot of time in that middle.
This is the Looney we love.
Yeah, Looney's definitely come to life here in Game 6. Wants to force that Game 7 in OpTic. And they need a good rotation here to Grandma. If they give this up to Rise Nation,
but look
it's
at
going to be bad.
Look at the map. It's going to be the hold here from Rise. They're set up in the back. The wall bang from Classic. He's got his Tempest ready to go to. They're up 66 points, and they're looking to hold here in a big way. He saw one side across. Can he tag them both? No. The bait and switch coming in as he's going to be tagged up. Pushing in the front. That's the heat wave coming in for Karma. He's got control. On the back, you've got Scump on a 4 streak as well. He's heating up and looking to crush the hopes and dreams of Rise, but they have not managed to take control.
I tell you what, that was some sick shots from Classic. He's not able to take Karma out there, but he jumps in the middle of the street, sees Scump all the way in the back of the hill on Grandma, and he's able to take him out.
Well, we heard from OpTic Gaming. Let's turn it over to Rise. Slacked in the crew, locking things down. Let's go to a listen-in.
I'm going to try to get to your stairs. They just spawn peach, Don't peek. One peach. Stairs, window. I spawn out. You gotta keep it up here. Get to train. I will absolutely just jump back window. Next contest. You can push out back train. I'm gonna try to challenge him here. I'm challenging with you, Jerry. It was Matt. One shot, Matt. Kill him. He's so weak. He's in between. One shot. I got Matt. I can get pushed. I have Travis on you. I'm watching your right. Not peach. Yo, just spawn back alley, flank peaches. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm one shot. They're gonna wall run on me. Yeah, he pushed me formal. I spawn back corn. Stay alive. I spawn back alley. Nice. Peach for sure. Where are you? Peach. We're gonna be there. Hold the point corn. We're still here. I'm EMP'd. I'm holding pitch. One. One shot. I'm gonna pinch them. You guys are Tempest out. No, he's top grandma, weak. Got him. Another one there. Let's go. One shot back grandma. I got one. Should change. Peaches. Last one peaches. 2 more.
Rise going big. You see Classic going off with the Tempest. They still got control. This 60-point hold. OpTic Gaming is just not been able to break. We're going to enter our third side of rotations here shortly. And Rise Nation looks ready and poised to push this the distance.
They just did a fantastic job in the trains, and nobody from OpTic Gaming was able to get him out. You saw Classic. He flanked one time, picked up 1 kill, slowed the push from OpTic Gaming down over by Peaches, then rotates back into the hill right off the spawn, and he's able to do some nice things with the Tempest.
Insane stuff from Classic. The crew's holding it down. We're in our third side of rotations. OpTic Gaming set up, looking to hold on. They need the mount to come back. The players from Rise are going to be pushing in here. What can Rise do to secure this victory, Matt? They've had such a solid 10 minutes or so thus far.
A minute 50 left. You can't get nervous here on this hill. You know, if OpTic Gaming were to take a lot of time here in the middle, you can't focus on what went wrong. You have to get over towards Auto. You can't afford to give them 2 good hills in a row. You see Octane up here with the scythe. He's just going to be looking down over his teammates, and that is taking out Slack in the process, and Classic gonna be in the hill, just needs to stay alive as long as possible, doing a good job of that. It's really about this next hill for me, for Rise Nation. You got to be able to lock this next one down.
Well, they're in early. Let's go over to the next hill. You mentioned that Slack with a 2-piece at the back, holding down 10. They still have a nice advantage, but this next one is the big one. This in the Grandmas, likely going to end it. Classic wins a big one, but is going to get cut down. That was Looney from mid-map killing him.
Yeah, that's just really weird. You got to know where your teammates are. Obviously, Classic played that perfectly. A lot of patience, but that team kill could end up to be huge. A lot of players pushing Slack in the hill. He's going to drop. You see Classic in the kill feed, but it's going to be OpTic Gaming in control of the hill. Karma picking up a big 2-piece. Crim inside. Karma grabbing a 3rd. Karma on a 4th streak right now. Tries to push all the way through Auto, but OpTic Gaming looks like they could be able to make the comeback here.
They're doing it right now. They've got 30 on the clock. The deficit 30 as well. Can they bring it back? Before they even get to
through. It's going to be kills in the kill feed for Rise Nation. Everything falling apart for OpTic Gaming here, Maven. Scump gets into the hill, picks up a two-piece, slides in there, and
This is it. Rise holding on. Get out of my house. Slack locking it down.
We are going to see
We're going to game 7
between Rise Nation and OpTic Gaming. OpTic Gaming up 3-0 in the series. Rise Nation storm all the way back, winning 3 straight, and OpTic looks absolutely stunned.
My God, this is nuts. What we've all wanted. Grand final, Game 7, OpTic versus Rise. What are your guys' thoughts? Chopra, it's all you, baby.
Insanity is the first word that comes to mind. I mean, I want to say we were half joking when we were talking, even before the match started, like Game 7 would be great, just because it's always nice, right? It's always nice to see the most intense of matches when it comes to the finals, because you know it's the 2 best teams, but it actually happens very rarely in any industry, in any tournament.
You couldn't write a script better than this. I know we're near Hollywood, but this is like a movie scene right now.
It is.
OpTic Gaming, the favorites, go up 3-0. Rise Nation, who they've been battling with online forever, bring it to a Game 7 in a potential reverse sweep. What is that, like the second one ever in Call of Duty history, the first one being H2K over Liquid this past weekend?
Yeah, this has been absolutely crazy. I mean, you get a huge performance from Octane throughout that entire map. Rise are looking to turn things around. And keep in mind, this has been a rivalry that's been brewing online, as Courage was saying, throughout the entire CWL Stage 1 online phase, throughout all the 25Ks, even through some of the LANs as well. And, you know, Rise have a chance to win their 3rd major LAN in a row.
Yeah, this is why I love competitive Call of Duty, man. I mean, these guys put so much on the line for this. There are hundreds of thousands of people watching online. It's standing room only in the venue. Rise fans getting up and screaming after that match. This is going to be a storybook Game 7.
Too sure Rise was in the lead the whole time, but OpTic had their moments. OpTic had their moments when it looked like they were coming back. I mean, Krim on that auto hill towards the end of the game was trying to hold it down, battling off 3-4 players at a time, all on his own. And then we see Karma making some big plays too. But at the end of the day, it's the players we mentioned that kind of need to pick it up for Rise. Looney and Octane show up to play. Of course, the rest of the team too. Everyone teams up, and now Rise brings it to a Game 7.
You know, there are a couple of key engagements that Rise wind up winning. You know, for example, that Looney 2-piece that tracks going into that final Grandma's Hardpoint, that, you know, if they lose those engagements, then OpTic Gaming are right back into the game, and maybe Rise don't win if they lose those specific key engagements.
All right, I mean, listen, I have to say, going towards the map 7, to be fair, both teams have proven what they were out to prove, right? No one should be able to sit back and argue that OpTic is only an online team anymore. They were up 3-0, and even in these games, they were showing a good game. Same for Rise. No one should be able to say that, no, they can't actually hang with the top dogs. They beat FaZe. They brought a near comeback right now, tying it up 3-3. But at the same time, if you're one of the 8 players on stage right now, you don't settle just because you proved the story. It doesn't end until you lift that trophy.
This is more than a Game 7 right now. They're playing for more than the Stage 1 championship, all the prize pool as well, but they're playing to see who is the #1 team in competitive Call of Duty. It all comes down to this match.
Yeah, you know, it's always great to talk about the stories, but right now, you're right, Revan. There's only one thing on everyone's mind. Who exactly is #1 right this moment in Call of Duty Black Ops 3? Who's the reigning team in the Call of Duty World League presented by PS4?
I'll tell you right now, Maven chugged 2 energy drinks before this series, and I thought it was going to be a 4-0. He's put them to use now, going to a Game 7. These guys over there, I see them, they're basically shaking. I'm shaking. We're the band to protect. SVG, Overkill, very heavy sniper bands here. Shiva goes out as well. Things to look for now, Rapid Fire, Concussion are definitely going to be the last 2.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at the long-range guns getting out there because they don't want to get picked off early. It's your last game. You want to be able to challenge and kind of win with pride, right? Jump in there and be like, I know we fought fair and square and I beat you out. I didn't get picked off because you saw me first.
Yeah, normal straight-up bans. These guys are going into this as 2 teams who have, what, split search and destroys now in this series. It's 1-1. They were both near with the same round count, and now it's in a Game 7 for bragging rights of Call of Duty World League Stage 1 North American Division champions. Then you add in the money aspect of it, $250,000 on the line, everything you could ever ask for.
I mean, we like to joke about it that Maven might have a heart attack, you know, if he's casting every now and then, but I am legitimately worried for his health right now.
Yeah, well, there's a reason we put another headset up there just in case we need to hop in.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of energy flowing through right now.
There's a reason why he's paired up with the male nurse as well.
We'll see if they can handle it, but it's one game potential 11 rounds as we go into Search and Destroy and Infection.
Yep.
One map to determine who the best team in Call of Duty is right now, today. Brevin, what are your thoughts for Search and Destroy and Infection?
All right, so we all know a lot of action is going to go down over near the B Street. I have the B bomb site highlighted on your mini-map, and a lot of the action, of course, is going to go down on the street. What OpTic Gaming love to do with their lethal grenades is kind of get them in these types of positions. This is going to slow down the push from the offensive side, and for that exact reason, look for the offense to get trophies right around that line, right in front of the big rock. We all know the ideal setup that you want to get going here on offense. Kind of have one guy here floating around near a tank. He could be in charge of watching this overextension, could also challenge through middle map, but you want the bulk of your team set up around here as they try to push forward. So you get the line of sight from this player on the rock. He's going to zone out this player from the defensive side. And for the most part, you want to keep the defense on the end, their side of that line I just drew. And the defense, we're seeing it more and more often that they like to have more of a middle presence. So look for whoever's on offense to maybe exploit that B Street a little bit quicker. But we all know what OpTic Gaming love to do. Trophy systems are going to have a huge effect on this game. OpTic Gaming look for them to use a lot of danger close grenades to slow down their opponents. That's why we're seeing, frag grenades and Semtex is banned so often against them.
We started this journey back a week after New Year's. It's now the beginning of April. Everything these guys have played for and practiced for comes down to this map, the 1 seed versus the 2 seed. I just got chills saying it. I'm going to sit back, relax, enjoy this. At this point, I don't even care who wins. I predicted OpTic, but we're all winners today.
I mean, yeah, as everyone should. I mean, maybe sitting back you can't do because it's such a tense match right now. But it is this one last map. I mean, to think it all comes down to this after 11 weeks of matches and a couple lands here and there, a couple other tournaments that teams have participated. It comes down to only one map to find out who the best team is. This is the story everyone's been asking for in the Call of Duty World League. This one Search and Destroy between OpTic Gaming and Rise Nation. Maven, Mr. X, let's find out who the best team is.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Game 7. OpTic, Rise, Infection S&D.
Yeah.
How did we get here?
I have no idea, to be honest. I still can't believe that we were just uttering the words Game 7 in this matchup. And there's a lot of OpTic Gaming fans at home probably freaking out. Hector in the house. OpTic Gaming during Stage 1 undefeated on this map, 4-0. The last time I believe I've seen them play it was against Envy. It was a Game 5. They won that one 6-0. So OpTic Gaming, very good at Infection. S&D, Rise split this one 2-2 during the regular season. But Rise, I mean, these guys, they wanted to come in and prove that they are a worthy opponent for the likes of OpTic Gaming. They definitely have.
Here we go, baby. Game 7. OpTic Gaming, round 1, going to be on offense. Those lethals you heard Jack talking about is they're breaking everything. I'm sorry, Revin, I see you standing up. All right, you said it. Great analysis, Revin. Now take a seat.
And Skunk's going to get first blood on the other side of the map, but it's a very interesting play from Rise Nation, catching OpTic Gaming off guard. They're going to get to those B steps, a very powerful position. It looks like the bomb going to go down on the A site. Great call from Rise Nation early. A lot of teams don't push the A bomb site on this map. You're going to see Krim taking out Classic, and then that power position. It's just going to be Octane and Slack, the last two alive.
3-on-2. Here comes the break. Can OpTic get the push? Are they able to pick up these players? There's one winning the gunfight. Can they find a second? No. All of a sudden, it's Slack by himself. He's inside the barn. One player going to stick it. It's going to be stuck. Can he get it? They're going to hop off it, try to push Slack. Slack has to go absolutely huge. There's one in behind. He's going to push through. He didn't get spotted. Somehow he's leaking through. He's not able to win it. And there you go. OpTic Gaming, round 1, formal 2-0, and sticking the defuse.
Yeah, they had an idea of where he was. They sent the player down towards that middle of the map to watch if he came through Grave towards the other side of Barn.
Yep.
And then they pushed the other player through Barn. It was a fantastic route from Slack to get outside of it. But it's formal. I believe he might have actually seen him there for a second.
I don't think he did. That actually, I thought it worked out perfectly. I thought Slack kind of slipped through the cracks there. He was going to come up with a big play, but no, you don't. Formal locks it down.
It's also a risky play from OpTic Gaming because if Slack is able to win that gunfight on Formal, Scump's not in a position to rotate all the way around, win that gunfight, then get the defuse.
All right, well, let's go on to offense now. Who do you want to watch on Rise Nation, buddy?
Let's stay on board with Looney. Now,
Okay.
Looney, he's had a rough series, so to speak. We can stay on board with him on the defensive side of things. It looks like there's going to be one player over towards this A bomb site, but look at this. All the action going down over on the B
look
Street.
at this. Who's going to peek it?
And
Who's going to peek it? Slack wins it. Able to get one there at outside rock. He's got Octane watching his back as well. It's going to be 3 versus 3. Are they going to opt to back up? They won it on A as well. Now advantage to Rise Nation. Long distance shots with the VMP. Can't connect. Tagged up, but not taken down. Karma, now you're by yourself. You're in a 1v2. The nade coming in. Apparently,
that would have been crazy.
That would have been the most disgusting grenade I've ever seen in my life.
A good idea by Slack, though, to back down VMP versus M8. He's not going to win that, but in stretch of the imagination, you see that EMP coming in and actually tags up Karma, so they have to have an idea of where he's positioned. One player going to fly out. Karma's not going to be able to get the tags down. It's going to be Rise Nation answering back.
So far, you've had these 2v1 scenarios. The team with the advantage is taking it. What's going to make the difference here is who's going to be able to clutch up at a disadvantage. Who's going to make that big play to break the back of their opposition. Thus far, it's been back and forth.
I mean, first bloods are huge in Search and Destroy. They have been all weekend, always will be in competitive Call of Duty. So always keep an eye on who gets that first blood, and if they're able to take the rest of that round out. Let's stay on with Octane. We're going to see bust out a P06. This is a gun that we see the likes of Elevate use a lot. We haven't seen Octane use it all too much, so I'm interested to see what he likes to do with it.
Well, it looks like he wants to get sight on this outside area. He sees one. He knows there's a player there, but he was likely spotted as well. Let's go to the players pushing mid-map, because it's going to be Looney who's going to challenge on the B-bomb side. He's going to just shoulder peek that, get some information, back away. Let's look at the point of view from Formal 2, because he's going to see some mid-map. He's going to get cut down. One down from either side. 3 versus 3. Karma here at tank, trying to target the player statue, but he's going to fall as well. 2 players left for OpTic Gaming.
It's going to be Crim trying to challenge this through the front. They're actually trying to bait and switch there, and Scumps actually take out Classic in the middle of the map. Huge. Now it's just going to be Octane and Slack. Remember, Octane has that P06, so does not have another gun in his back pocket. Just going to have a pistol. It's going to be Scump pushing onto the side.
Only one player left. It's Octane. Can OpTic clutch the 2v3? He's got Elcar. He's going to peek. Not able to hit it. And there's the clutch for OpTic Gaming. Man down. Doesn't matter. Plenty of time for the defuse, and now they've got the edge.
And that's where not having overkill in the game is huge. I mean, right there, if Octane has an M8 in his back pocket in addition to the P06, he might be able to make that gunfight a little bit more competitive right there. Scump wins it with ease.
Very, very true. But, you know, we said it was 2v1 holds for the first 2 rounds. Now it's a 2v3 that OpTic takes advantage of. Unbelievable stuff.
I will say, though, I want to see OpTic adjust on the next defensive side. Seems like Rise Nation, they're coming into this one with a distinct plan to put pressure on the A bomb site. They only have 1 player over there, which a lot of teams do, but it seems like Rise just wants to take advantage of that lone player over on A.
Well, you do have an HC here for Slack. He started out 4-2, but let's go back over to the offense. Are we going to see any sniping here from these guys? Don't see anything yet. They're looking for mid-map control. They're going to start to push through. Getting to mid-steps is going to be Scump. How do you think they plan to attack this, Matt?
I don't think they're going to play pretty aggressive on these bomb sites. OpTic. It looks like they're going to play this one a little bit slow. It's quite odd you would have a player in this position, though, with an AR. I mean, you're able to see the cross, but if he gets pushed, obviously a VMP in this type of situation would be able to take him out.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough with the cover here, but Scump, the best in the business when it comes to breaking. Is that the HC from this side? So it's Slack. He knows there's nothing down B, so he knows they got to be mid-map array. Now he sees it. Does he target? Able to pick up one. Slack connects around the corner. He's 5-2. He has a VMP in this situation, so not going to be able to do too much to hold the long-range fight, but he has Octane backing him up. They pick up one. The player going high, trying to challenge Slack, but Slack's going to win it. Now it's Formal in a 1v4. He has all the work in the world to do. How can he possibly do it? Not going to bring it back and forth 2-2.
Not a ton of time either for Formal to really make anything happen, wrap all the way around. He needed to just make a play, obviously, with the bomb down as well. And Slack has been massive for Rise, even in the losses all series long. You got to think, I mean, just think about the Rise Nation roster for a second. This is by far and away the biggest match any of these guys have ever played in.
I could not agree with you more. Right on the money there, but I mean, it's going to be offense again. Do we stay with Slack? I mean, he's 6-2. He's basically doubling everyone in the lobby right now, doing an excellent job here. Let's watch them now on offense, as it looks they're going to be targeting mid-map and A.
Which is what they've been doing all game long. It seems like OpTic is just going to go with the standard defensive setup that they've been employing. They did such a great job on Breach by changing up their strategies round to round. here in a Game 7, obviously some things change, right? You know, you want to play a little bit safer. You want to go with what works all the time. But, I mean, I'm a believer. You kind of gamble it all away, right? You take those risks, I think.
Yeah, no, I think you're right on the money there. The first player to challenge would be Karma peeking out through B. They're able to get control. Now they can flood forward. The next player to challenge could be Crim6, just trying to get vertical here, get view onto the B bomb site, but they're down a man. Are they going to slide in? Are they going to opt to attack here? The bomb's getting planted. This is such a tough angle to deal with. Just peeking, trying to get shots in, but not able to pick up any of these kills. It's Classic actually answering. 2 players left for OpTic. Crim6, Formal have a lot of work to do here.
Yeah, to get into the B bomb site, trying to challenge those AR players in the middle, so difficult. You're going to see Formal. He's not going to be able to take out anyone. Crim's going to drop mid-map.
He tags up everybody, right? Putting shots all around, but not getting any of the kills.
Yeah, and it's going to be Rise Nation taking that round on offense, and it was big plays by Classic. He was able to just guard Slack, because Slack's stuck in the B bomb site. He's just laying down, hoping that Classic's able to pick up those kills, because he has no chance of killing anybody if they slide in. And Classic does a great job blocking it down.
All right, well. Karma picks up another very, very quickly. It's Looney all by his lonesome.
And he is so far out of position. Obviously, he's going to be the only player over on the opposite side of the map. And he's actually coming on a long flank here. He's able to get some nice shots down, but he is trapped. You're going to have all 3 players fly at Looney. And Maven, with the way this was going, could be going the distance, I think.
You think so? Game 7, round 11, OpTic, Rise, the top 2 seeds all year long. Could you ask for anything more perfect?
No. You literally could not. I mean, you just laid it out there for everybody. You could not ask for a more perfect scenario. And stay on board with the offensive team, Rise Nation, see what they elect to do. And they did a great job, obviously, earlier. Rise going towards the A bomb site, and then now having success over towards B. It forces OpTic to be a little more honest on defense. You know, respect the fact that they could possibly do a hit through A.
Well, Scumps here playing defense, uses the cover, gets the first blood, but the push is going to continue to come. You got to stay alive. You don't want to get traded out there. And who's at the back? Backrock is Krem. He's waiting in case they opt to push through here. You have watching the flank is Looney. If anyone wants to wrap around the back, you've got Slacked being very, very patient here. He has his kinetic armor to work with. Now, who's wrapping around? This is Formal pushing around the back. He might line one up perfectly, but that's a great shoulder peek as he's going to get a ton of information. Let's go back to mid. Karma checking, sees one at back, sandbags, and who's wrapping around the back? Krem with the big flanks on Breach. Can he get it done here as well? There's one. He wins it. There's a player on the site. They're going to trade that out as well. It's now Looney, 1 versus 3. The poor guy finds himself between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, and he's going to catch one player here in the tunnel. He's not going to win the gunfight. Karma on the defuse. It looks like actually he's going to hop off there.
Yeah, get your specialist meters a little bit. Look for trophies. And the nice one burst in green, close range with the M8. Doing him dirty here.
Not saying Looney would have been able to make anything happen there, but he kills Formal. He does have Heat Wave.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have been able to get to the bomb in time, though, to be quite honest.
Well, you have Camo for Formal. Karma has that HC as well, and then what did Krem have? Vision Pulse. So let's watch the Camo play here, see if Formal might opt to use it. Oh, this is going to be a big hit here. Everybody coming out. The Camo's going to be huge here. There's the first blood. Snaps him one on his right. Gets both. The player outside Rock is dropped as well, and it's Classic all by his lonesome too. Him and Looney, they just have so much, man. You see them in these tough positions. Well, look at the X-ray right here. Everybody's in front of him. He's tagged up. He's dropped. OpTic Gaming, green wall, 1 round away here from being your champion.
That was a perfect round to use your abilities from the standpoint that you use them, you go down the B street, you win the round. It puts so much pressure on Rise just to look at that scoreboard and see OpTic Gaming 1 round away.
And a funny stat line from yesterday, our first 7 S&Ds were a scoreline of 6-3.
Yeah.
It's been a theme of the weekend.
A lot of trends this weekend, yeah.
Can OpTic end it here? It's going to be offense for Rise Nation, and all they have, they have the heat wave. That's really the only thing they have to work with. Can you play off of that really on offense, or is that going to be more a clutch situation?
I think it's going to be more a clutch situation. You want to keep that heat wave player alive, and you're going to see Formal actually just use the HC.
You've got HC cars everywhere.
He's going to use it to just scout players out.
They're everywhere. Are there three? Are there three of them? Those two. Okay.
And everyone being so cautious, they don't want to get first blood in this. And, oh, actually, Formal's HC gets taken out, but he gets some vision on a player in mid. I believe we see another one out on the map. That one's from Karma, and it's going to be Krim taking out Octane up in the top house window. Fantastic shots there by Krim. Going to get a little bit aggressive.
Oh, almost. That would have been sick, man. The car tags him up, and then to fly around the corner and pick it up, but just a second late, and now this is everything. It's 3v4. Rise Nation has to get it done. It was the vision pulse coming out from Krim 6. They know where everybody is. Krim gets set up on the B site. He's going to rotate out at back rock. You have Formal here. He can push if need be, but let's go to the offensive point of view. It's going to be on Slack. They've got to get the bomb down. They have just over 20 seconds to go. How are they going to play this? You see him at the corner. He has to go for it. You have the heat wave here. Do you maybe slide up for the heat wave? He has to stay alive. You can't lose him. You cannot drop here. You gotta stay alive and maybe even get this off. He's gonna challenge the corner. Keeps peeking. There's two inside. Do you slide in and pop this? You gotta think about the heat wave. He wins one. He's able to get it now. Krim, you're all by yourself. He's trapped here inside a B. Doesn't have a lot of time to go, and then Rise has got it.
Looney picks up both of those kills. The player in that round that made the biggest play is Classic.
That first kill.
He doesn't get tagged by the vision pulse, so they don't really have an idea where he's playing. He could have been playing all the way in that back rock in the island watching the flank. He could have been playing a little bit more over towards Church. He's up on that top rock, and he jumps down, gets that first kill with the M8, and he's the only one on that team with the M8, the only one who can knock those shots down. And Rise, they save their camo, they save their heat wave.
They have heat wave, they now have camo, they're about to have vision pulse, and on the other side, Scump almost has kinetic. And look how far everybody else is. I mean, Karma is kind of in the same neighborhood, but here comes this strong B push. They don't have the camo that worked so well for him last time. Classic's going to peek right away. Want the back rock, zips his head up. Can he find a second? Tags him up, gets the assist as well. One more peeks and pushes. 2 versus 2. Scump by himself. 5-5. Round 11, game 7.
Did Formal fall off the map?
Oh, I hope not. Did he really?
Did Formal fall off the map?
Oh, God. He can't fall off the map.
He does. He drops there on that right-hand side. And we are going to have a game 7, round 11 between OpTic Gaming and Rise. One round will decide our stage 1 champion.
Oh, man, the crowd. Let's get it, baby.
So Looney still has heat wave. Looney still has heat wave, and Scump used his kinetic during that round. So obviously, Looney with that heat wave and on offense could make a big play over at the bomb sites.
Oh my God, this is everything. $250,000 prize purse for these guys, and it all comes down to one damn round of S&D. Who will be crowned your champions? Here comes the push. Classic gonna be set up inside. He's gonna work on the plan here. And who's peeking in the corner? It was Scump shoulder peeking for just a moment. Got some information. Is he going to fly in? The vision pulse comes out. They're aware he's at the steps, and that's going to slow everything down. Looney at top grandma's. There's a player flanking around behind. Is he going to be able to win this? Not able to get it. First blood goes to OpTic.
And in the grand scheme of things, that player is pretty important because now OpTic's going to be able to go on a long flank. They didn't have success challenging him from the mid-map, but potentially pushing from the defensive side of things could break the setup.
That's another one. That's 4 versus 2. They're able to pick up 1 kill. All of a sudden, 2v2. They're picking him up. It's now 4 down. OpTic Gaming has done it.
They go huge. Karma in the final round picks up 2 big kills. He finishes 9-7 in game 7. But I tell you what, if anyone had any doubts about Rise Nation, they are over now. They played unbelievable.
The guys will high five, shake hands. What a brutal, brutal battle. I mean, the physical and mental preparation you have to have for this. These guys have got to be absolutely exhausted. But now we'll have them center stage. And there it is. OpTic Gaming are going to be your champions of Stage 1 North American Call of Duty World League.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our champions. Give it up for them again. OpTic Gaming, everybody. Look, you gotta show everyone this trophy. Hold it up. Come on, bask in this for a second here. You guys, Rise gave you a real run for your money, literally. What was the pressure and intensity like up here?
Oh, that was absolutely ridiculous. The maps that they started winning were so close, so we were just like, okay, they're getting lucky. Things aren't going our way. Like, we were just trying to, like, ease ourselves. And then, I don't know, that last round, whew, I don't know what was going on. Honestly, I don't know what happened.
I mean, it was insanity, but you guys are the champs. You can say it. Say it.
We the champs, baby.
Hold it up. How are you guys going to celebrate?
Congratulations, OpTic Gaming. And you saw as soon as the crowd was allowed to go up, you saw the studio design director of Treyarch, David Bondor, first one up there to congratulate the champions of North America Stage 1 Pro Division of the Call of Duty World League. I mean, he helped create this game with his team, and now they get to see who the best players are. And, you know, it was a tough game, but to no one's surprise, OpTic Gaming reigns supreme.
I will never forget this weekend for the rest of my life. What a performance from both OpTic Gaming and Rise, a match that will live forever and ever in the history of Call of Duty esports.
What a great weekend. I mean, we were hanging out with David here on the couch. It's awesome to see these guys genuinely get excited about some of the plays that these guys were making. And as Courage was saying, this is a weekend that none of us will ever forget.
Yeah, this kind of ending, right? I mean, we half joked about how amazing it would be for all fans of Call of Duty to see a Game 7. And we said, what if it goes to round 11? Goes to round 11, down to what, the last 10 seconds to see who's going to be the last one standing. OpTic Gaming post, that was I mean, I think Scum said it perfectly. He probably legitimately has no idea how that game ended, because with that kind of pressure and adrenaline pumping through, when it comes down to one round, 15 seconds to see if you're the best team, that's something you never forget.
I cannot wait to see what Stage 2 now holds. Rise Nation, they lose, obviously, they don't get their third LAN event win in a row. You know they're going to be hungry. I think so many new people tuned into competitive Call of Duty this weekend are now forever fans. Welcome to COD Esports. You're going to have a hell of a ride.
Yeah, of course, Rise Nation, like you said, sure, they don't get that three-peat, but, I mean, hey, they held their own. I mean, listen, even if you don't get the reverse sweep, to get 3 maps back in a row is not an easy feat against a team like OpTic. It's just that.
Congratulations, OpTic Gaming. You guys are badass. Our new COD champions in North America, OpTic Gaming. Congratulations. You guys earned it. Celebrate it, man. This is going to be the end of the live stream. Thank you for everyone that's been joining me and also Call of Duty for bringing us the COD World Championship Leagues. And we will bring you a new live stream maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday, maybe this week. And this is Sick Chaos here, bringing you guys in, ending this live stream. See ya. Congratulations, OpTic again.